Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast Never Sleeps.
We both did this one.
Did we? That's so annoying and
whack.
weird. Yeah, that
Can we
sucks.
restart?
Well, we have to now. Yeah, we have to now. That's a shame. But hey, guys, welcome back. So happy to see you.
You should be ashamed.
Anyway, I'm not going to let you do this to me, Jared. I'm not going to let you make me feel bad for my own decisions. Okay, so
Shame.
today we're talking a few different things, man. I'm talking about a podcast that it's
Never
one
Sleeps?
of the biggest podcasts.
Okay.
With one of the biggest podcasts with two of the biggest hypocritical people hosting it ever.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I love when people are overtly hypocritical.
Same.
The only thing overt in this room. I ran out of words.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's coming?
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's it.
So what do you
That's all
got
I
for
had.
us, though?
So in case you didn't see the thumb,
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about something extra special today. And I want to start off with a story.
Okay.
Which one did you like? Did you like the first story, the second story, or the third story?
Third story.
And the third story was...
Abraham.
No.
Gettysburg.
No. No,
Yeah, it was.
it wasn't.
It for sure
That was the second one.
Dude, you're killing me here.
Well, I want to tell the right story. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, I've been ready, fucker.
During World War II,
Okay.
we know that Oppenheimer and Teller
That's what it was.
were running a secret project out of Los Alamos, the Manhattan Project. Go watch the movie Oppenheimer if you don't know what I'm talking about. You should know what I'm talking about even if you haven't seen the movie.
Seriously. Come
The
on,
Manhattan
guys.
Project, we all know about it. It's obviously been declassified because we used what we made there. Simultaneously, though, there was another project going on during the Manhattan Project. And that second project is what we're going to talk about later today.
You son of a
And
gun.
it's a good one.
It is.
I'm
it?
excited. Oh, dude, I've got so many fun stories. All right.
So you ready to jump in then? Boom?
You know what? Let's jump in.
Let's do it. So, man, I got my disappointed face on.
You like the end of Loki season 2?
Yeah.
Him with the green time.
It sounds like something I would make up. It really does.
A ghost, a ghoul, a goblin, a monster,
this?
a werewolf.
Went on and wrote in the comments.
I was gonna say that came out great.
You're off to a great start.
Yeah.
We got some fun stuff planned today. We got some goods.
We do. I don't lie. We do got some goods.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Cameron. This is Jared, and we're getting into it today. So first,
Oh, yeah.
we were having a little discussion before the podcast.
We were. That's where
you
the
asked me-
three-story thing came from. So
And-
in case that made no sense
Yeah, right.
and wasted time.
Also, well, it did still, regardless. But you asked me if I would be a Winter Soldier. What would you ask?
I said that if they announced, let's say Elon Musk's company was like, because they're working on Neuralink, they're like, guess what? We can give you Winter Soldier powers.
Okay, yeah.
Steve Rogers powers, right?
Super soldier,
We can
yeah.
make you a super soldier tomorrow.
Sign me up, yeah.
Would you do it?
Yep.
Now, the caveat is, because of what it is and the technology, they'd be able to hack in and maybe use you as a weapon at their behest whenever they want.
Small price.
You would
And
still do it.
100%. 100%.
Same.
Yeah.
I would totally do
You
it.
would.
I would
'Cause
just
come on.
run everywhere because how fun.
But too fast, too. You're like, "Ugh, I can't even keep up with myself. I'm so quick.
Yeah. On your left.
Yeah.
On your left. Dude, jumping off buildings without any harm. You could take bullets and heal almost immediately like
So,
it's nothing.
I'm sure this changed during the Superman lore. But
Yeah.
remember they would say like he could leap buildings in a single bound.
Yeah.
First of all, who says a single bound?
No
Second
one.
of all, he can fly.
Right.
It's like saying
I love that.
It's like saying some guy who's like 7'5".
Yeah.
Like saying, "Oh man, it's so crazy. He has he wears briefs." No, tell me the crazy thing.
yeah.
Tell me that he's
Yeah.
8 feet fucking tall.
He can dunk. Like, yeah. Yeah, because
And then-
it's as tall
and then
as
tell
him.
me, tell me the important part.
Yeah. So let me ask you this.
Go.
In Man of Steel,
Yeah.
at first, he can only leap. He hasn't learned how to
Yeah,
fly
'cause
yet.
he-
And you get to watch
that's right.
that. So my question to you is, when he does that thing where things start to lift up, like rocks start to lift up around him before he takes off and flies, what is that? What's that effect going on around him that's allowing him to then defy gravity? Why are other objects near him also defying gravity?
Oh, so you're saying there's like something that he can do that is anti-gravitic?
There's some energy there that that's obviously around him as he powers up almost, right?
I think
and
it just looks
the
cool.
dirt. It does look cool.
Yeah.
But what could it be?
Also, because
'Cause it's
remember
not
when
just
he
him.
died in the end
dirt.
credit scene, the dirt was moving. It's
Right.
like,
So there's like an energy force that he's be able to use to stay in flight so that he doesn't have to just keep jumping everywhere. What is that?
yeah. That's a
Have
good
you ever
question.
thought about it?
No. But,
I have. I've thought about this because
Yeah, I see that.
I wondered, like, what are they trying to show us here? Like, and then he tells like Lois, you should step back more.
Yeah.
A little bit more. Meaning, like, there's this force that he's about to create around him to launch his ass, and he can break the speed of sound 10 times over, and we know he can keep up with the Flash, but he can do that while flying. What is that?
There's a great Flash Superman story.
Yeah.
So they would do a race like every year or something for charity in the comics, obviously, because they don't exist. So they were doing one of their charity races, right? And so they start, Flash is going, Superman's right there, and neck and neck, and they go in Antarctica. He slips in a little snow, but they keep going and they're going. And the Flash is, a little bit ahead, right?
Yeah.
And a little bit could be 20 miles or 1,000 miles, who knows?
Yeah.
But he's a little bit ahead, and then Lex Luthor is like, you know what? I'm going to bet against Superman, so I'm going to bet on Flash, because I know Superman's going to lose. So I'm going to say $1 billion. Oh, no, he wants to make Superman look bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So he's like, $1 billion if Superman wins, because he knows he's not going to win, because he knows he's behind. So $1 billion if Superman wins. I'll donate to every charity, whatever, right? Superman with his super hearing hears it. He's like, oh, is that right?
Damn it,
motherfucker?
now I have to try and win.
And fucking just by an inch beats out the
does?
Flash.
He beats the Flash.
And then so Luthor's like, oh, fuck.
So the Flash must be like, oh, so then I'm useless. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's my thing. You can fly.
Right, yeah. Why am I
All
here,
I have
guys?
is that.
But what you made a great point one day when we were discussing
sure.
this.
I believe it.
That he can access the speed force, which Superman cannot.
Yeah,
so
true.
even though Superman can travel the same speed, almost,
Yeah.
he doesn't have access to the speed force.
Yeah.
Whereby the speed force he can use to reverse time and all kinds of other
Everything,
things.
yeah.
I don't think Superman can reverse time
No.
because he can't access the speed
Unless
force.
you watch the first Superman movie where we were like,
Even if he was going the speed of light, he would just be moving and everything else would be still, but he wouldn't be able to reverse time. That was your point.
Yeah.
Is that without access to the speed force, he can't actually travel through time.
Yeah.
Good. There's some
Yeah.
boundaries on him. Thank
Yeah,
God.
I know.
And I like that. That was a great point.
Yeah.
Now, can I tell you what I think that force is when he learns how to use to fly?
Is it something with that has to do with like anti-gravity?
Well, maybe. I think he's vibrating at a frequency that's extremely fast. And then everything around him in that general vicinity, because of the wind or whatever's coming off of his body at that when he's charging up, he's vibrating so fast that when he releases, those things were lifting too.
That's why he
because
has
of the
Lois to
vibrations.
step back.
Right. You vibrate her bones to death, right? Yeah.
No,
or the
sexual.
Oh, yeah.
It's like being on top of a laundry
Worst,
machine.
yeah, worst ever, worst relationship ever. Imagine if he in that moment where
For
you
a
lose
split
control,
second, he loses where he's having a little too much fun.
that's
her body
the end.
explodes.
How did they have a baby? It had to be artificial insemination because it would be a shotgun blast.
How does he go? Yeah, straight. Yeah, straight up.
Oops.
That's true.
Yeah.
What about him like going down? Like and his tongue goes too fast. Her whole body flies to the side. Who knows?
It would just be mutilated.
Their sex life must be a mess.
It would be very difficult.
It'd be tough.
But at the end of the day, he's the best looking guy on earth and he's invincible. So, you know,
no,
there's
it's
always,
worth it.
yeah,
It's
every
worth it every time he
relationship
goes
has its problems.
downstairs. Yeah. We all have our thing.
Yeah.
But every time he goes
But what do you
downstairs,
think
it's
of that
worth her
idea?
being like,
This frequency idea,
that's
that
true.
he's just vibrating a certain
fair.
frequency to keep himself and to lower his mass so that he can stay in the air based on his speed.
So, yeah, if you just go based off the Krypton thing, it doesn't make sense that he could fly. He should be able to just leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Yeah,
Like,
flying.
I can just jump so fucking high and so strong. But how could he, like, stay in the air? And,
Well,
like,
in the movie, I
maneuver?
like how they show that he shows himself like pulling himself back up as he's falling, like he's like almost like a jolt
what,
to
though?
keep himself up, and then he learns how to do it so fast that naked eye we're not catching
him,
it.
he can flap his butt cheeks or something and jump another 30
Right, that's
feet.
what I mean. Just the
That's what you
smallest
meant?
little
Yeah.
gives him a huge jump
A
boost.
flatulation
So he
would
just
give
keeps
him
himself
10
up in
miles.
the air, but we're not seeing the effort of it. Like
Princess,
the
what's
fighter
up?
jet pilots, you don't see all the fucking
Unless you're watching
cranking.
Maverick.
The best movie.
Hey guys, love you both. I will make it there soon. Wanted to go today, but took too long of a nap.
So you missed the show, so you could take a
Yeah,
nap?
you missed an entire live show
Weak
because
to
you
the
napped
sauce.
too long.
Weak to the sauce. You know how many people
Unacceptable.
lined up to be here, and you're just napping all day?
Millions.
I'm kidding. There's nobody
He's
lined
not.
up. I'm kidding.
They stopped
There
lining up months ago.
No, actually, we do have guests coming. We've
Yeah, I
got
know.
like a few lined up.
There's a guest who wants to call in today, but I don't know if this will allow it. But we got a cool news segment. But
Yeah.
let me tell you
Let's
about.
get into the show.
Let's get into the beef.
I
of
like
it.
talking a little bit with Flash and Superman.
I play the intro again. That'd be great.
Yeah. Run it.
Yeah. So, man, I got my disappointment.
All right.
Anyway, so okay, we're talking about. What are we talking about? Let's talk about
You
something
were going to talk
important.
about something cool.
No, I
some
know.
hypocritical.
No, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I was quoting the movie. What are we talking about? Let's talk about something important.
Yeah, that's great.
Glengarry.
Yeah.
Dude.
What if Kevin Spacey was played by a stand-up
John
comedian?
Mulaney.
John Mulaney. That's perfect.
Yeah.
What would that sound like?
Yeah, he says, "Will you go to lunch?
Yeah, that's
go
it.
to
Perfect.
lunch. Will you? Will you go to lunch? Go to lunch.
You come around here, you tell us what to do. Who is this guy?
Go to lunch.
What is this?
Well,
I don't know what's going on here. I'm obviously guilty.
Yeah.
I'm so overtly guilty.
Yeah. Go to lunch. Will you? Will you go to lunch?
John Mulaney, well, why you want me to go to lunch so bad?
Go to lunch. Will you?
You stupid FNC. You
Yeah.
idiot.
Jesus,
Who
Richard
told
Roma.
you could work with men?
Yeah, that movie's so good.
You shit.
You
I
stupid
love
fucking
it.
you idiot. Yeah, he's so harsh.
He is hard, but it's the greatest.
Richard Roma, Jesus.
He tears
I haven't
him.
heard language like that since Catholic school. Yeah.
Will you go to lunch?
Yeah. Will you go to lunch? Will you go to lunch?
No.
Yeah.
You
Will
go.
you go to lunch? Anyway,
If you haven't seen
nobody's
that
seen
film,
Glengarry Glen
yeah,
Ross. It
then
doesn't
wow,
matter.
this
They
is
just
a
think we're
big,
a couple of
nutty
psychopaths.
conversation.
So, have you heard of the? All right, ready? So we're starting. Have you heard of? I could see like the side of your face though. So it's fucking
know, it
ruined.
didn't work
You
at
went- You
all.
went like this. So, have you seen not only Glengarry?
I love that film. Yes.
Have you
What if
s-
John Mulaney was in it? No, okay, keep going.
Will you go to lunch? Stupidest episode.
Will
entrance
you?
ever.
Start.
10 minutes is
Yeah.
nonsense.
No, tell me.
So, have you heard of the podcast Fresh and Fit?
I don't like the name. Is it good? Is it a good podcast?
No.
Okay,
No, it's real
well
bad.
then.
Real
I
bad.
haven't seen it. I haven't
Best
heard
impression of it?
Of it. Will you?
You're all dumb. Yeah. You're all dumb sluts. That's the best impression of it.
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's John.
What's up, Johnny?
No lunch. No lunch.
Will you know lunch?
No lunch.
He's like listening, driving his car or on his way to
Yeah,
work.
like,
He's
what
the
am I
fuck
listening
are they talking
to?
about?
Is that
He said,
Glengarry
"Will you-"
Glen Ross?
Yeah, but is John Mulaney
Yeah.
playing Kevin Spacey's character?
He
You know how
nails it.
yeah, exactly. You know how they take out Kevin Spacey?
Yeah.
like they did with that one
Oh,
movie.
that would be funny.
They remove him and put
Dude,
John
why
Mulaney.
don't we make
Every movie
without Kevin Spacey and replace him with somebody?
John Mulaney
Yeah.
exclusively.
Oh, that would be great.
As-
Even as Lex Luthor.
Dude, Lex Luthor, even as Kaiser Soze.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like that.
Yeah.
He's gone.
No, he's like, and how do you shoot the devil in the back? What if you miss? Yeah. Yeah, it'd be great.
Okay. Okay. Tell me about Flagrant.
Yeah. It might as well be.
What was it called?
No, it's called
The Fast and the Fury.
Fresh and Fit.
Okay, Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about family.
I don't feel like I said anything wrong.
It's about, yeah, you said everything. It's about family.
Okay.
Willem Dafoe.
Instead of Spacey in everything, I
Well,
would,
you
I would
got
watch
a
it.
lunch. Will you?
Or we replace Spacey with Defoe in Boondock Saints. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, what does he even say?
Yeah, all the things.
F word.
Twist a lemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But who is it?
Spacey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Do your best.
No.
Spacey, yeah.
Yeah, I gave up and I wanted you to continue. So Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, so the podcast Fast and the Furious Flagrant 2, Fresh and Fit. So it's these two guys Fresh
Whoa,
and fit.
wait. If we're going to talk about a podcast, and
Oh,
we're
fuck
going
me
to put it on
sideways
blast,
and call me Suzanne.
we
Yeah,
need
you're
to
right.
let the people know.
Dude, we're just off to a rough start.
No, this is the best start we've
Yeah,
ever
you're right.
had.
This is the best start we were
This
at.
is the best start we've ever had.
So I guess we might as well jump into the fucking cast on blind.
Boom! Okay, wait. So what am I looking at here? This is a podcast studio.
It is.
There's an explosion. So it's a podcast on blast.
That's it.
Cast on blast.
Yep,
I dig it.
you did it.
All right.
So cast on blind.
No, tell me.
And so,
Tell me
so
more.
we're talking about flagrant.
Yeah.
What is it?
Fast and the Furious.
Fast and Furious
No,
2.
fresh and clean?
Fresh and fit.
Fresh and fit.
So fresh and so fit.
So there's a podcast named Fresh and Fit.
Yes, and it is hosted by one man named Fresh and one man named Fit.
This can't be.
Yeah, I
This
know. I
can't
just
be.
found that out recently, and I was
This
like,
can't be.
oh. So I'll show you Fresh and I'll show you Fit.
These are pseudonyms or they're maiden names.
They're pseudonyms for Walter and
Maiden names.
and his. Is that what you said? Maiden names?
Yeah, because it sounds
For
like they
Walter
deserve.
and they have terrible names. Walter and like Mick Lewis.
Yeah, we almost shouldn't name them because based on what you said this show is,
Myron.
it sounds like garbage.
Oh, oops. Yeah, it is garbage.
Okay.
But so Myron and Walter, but Fresh and Fit. So basically, they have a podcast where they go on and they just ream these OnlyFans models and stuff, right? They're like,
Oh, good for them.
they're like, you're little sluts because I'm a high value man and you're a 304.
and I can't get you to call me back.
Yeah.
So now-
And you left me on red, you bitch.
Yeah, come on.
No, but basically, so check it out. So they preach to men. They're like, even a woman's past, if she has a promiscuous past, that can affect your future. You as a man, you need to understand that you have to protect your future. You cannot be dating these 304s.
So it's
And
like an
that's all they say.
impression of all those guys.
It's like if Andrew Tate wasn't as clever, smart, or talented, or didn't have a dope kickboxing career.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah.
So take. Oh, actually, that's great. Take Andrew Tate.
He's trying
and
to
take away
be
everything great
him.
about him.
Yeah,
Take away all the positives and just leave the shitty rhetoric.
All the
but
negative
not
rhetoric.
misconstrued.
No. The
Actual-
legit
The
negative
criticisms on Andrew Tate.
Okay.
Embody that into two human beings.
So these guys listened and took that part of what he says very serious to heart,
Yeah.
and then made a show about that.
Yes.
That one gross part of his ideology.
It's probably $20,000 an episode because they have 50 mics for 49 OnlyFans models.
so they bring on more than one. Okay,
No,
at least
they'll
they
like
don't.
7 at a time.
At least they don't like gang up on one poor girl.
No, they do though because it's like mob mentality. So even other OnlyFans models will be like, "She is such a dumb bitch."
Oh,
You're
no.
right, Myron. Anyway, that's just what
They
I'm
turn on each other.
Yeah, no, they do. Well, you know that's how it is.
I know what you mean.
This group think. I was actually thinking about that. Chase, yo, what up, boy? I was actually thinking about that with
Mob
with, like-
mentality. I like.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about that with the government. Real quick side tangent. Like, if they say, "Hey, Jared, you're a senator. I'm big pharma. Here's a bunch of money." So now,
Yeah.
I don't even have to. You don't even have to think nefariously. You don't have to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and do this and this and that'll help
Right.
big pharma." You will inherently defend them, and
Yeah.
just because that's
are my pals.
That's your buddy,
Yeah.
buddy.
And
Right?
they invite me to all these fun dinners.
That's
and
what I'm
parties.
saying. So-
I've been to Diddy's parties 100 times,
Yeah.
right? Thanks to
Weird,
them.
weird parties. Yeah. But so that's why it's like it's not crazy to be like to think, oh, these people are all in cahoots and stuff.
Yeah.
No, they're sort of just thinking like they're looking out for themselves. But
Right, as Bulworth said, like I got to make $10,000 a day every single day that I'm out, doing these meet and greets, and I'm not getting it in the poor neighborhoods.
Yeah, I'm not getting it in the inner
getting
city.
it in Beverly Hills, and I'm voting the way they want me to, and I'm sending them my bills.
Yeah.
But we got kids dying, and but
no,
you get
do
it.
the part any part that rhymes.
We got kids dying in South Central as young as they do in Peru. We got a Senate
didn't
that
rhyme.
doesn't have a clue, something like that. You got you got Bush looking all weepy. You got Newt blaming teenage moms. I can't remember word for word. That's tearing up the world from the west to the east. Yeah, the movies, the TV, there's other magazines. They tell you what to think and do, and all your hopes and dreams. Does
See,
this
there-
thing,
that rhymes,
And
yeah.
all your hopes
All
and
your hopes
dreams.
and dreams, yeah.
Everything about it makes America fat, but if the company's out of the country, how American is that? That's good, man.
So good. Hopefully, you guys have seen all these movies. They're
Wow, yeah, we
you
are
think we're
super
obnoxious
inside right
fucks.
now.
Yeah, super inside.
Go
baseball.
for it.
So they call these girls 304s. When I edit this
What does that
into
mean?
a highlight, you're just gonna see me say, "Yeah," and they go,
Cut your head. Yeah.
I'm gonna cut all that out, and it's gonna be me in a different place with different shadow saying, "So they call the girls 304s," because there's so much editing that has to
So
be done.
why? What does that mean?
They call them 304s. So I thought it had to do with area codes or something, right? Like, oh, these hoes from the 304, you know. But what it is if you put 304 on a calculator and turn it around, it says ho.
These
Boobless.
guys are so.
And then Madonna got 6 boob jobs
I remember
times,
that,
3 children
Yeah.
equals boobless. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't get it. She doesn't have
Okay,
boobs.
so they hate women pretty much.
Or they just do it for monetary gain, which is arguably worse.
Yeah. They're trying to be super controversial
Super
and
controversial
annoying.
from the east to the west. Yeah, so they're pretty bad. So,
Okay.
but it would be fine if in their daily lives, while they're shitting on the 304s of the woads,
Okay.
they were like, practiced what they preached.
Donating to charities. Oh, you
that'd be
mean
nice, too.
actually? Okay, I can't wait to see where this goes.
Yeah.
So they're
So,
faking it.
hey, these thoughts out here,
Yeah.
these Miami and Hollywood, New York City thoughts.
Okay.
These girls think that they're just because they make money on OnlyFans, that this is going to sustain and they're going to be able to do this forever. No, your looks are going to go in 2 years, and then your child's going to look at you and wonder, why is his mom a slut? It's like terrible shit like this, right?
Okay, yeah.
So this is how they feel on air.
Yeah.
But Mr. Fresh, a.k.a. Walter.
So 50% of the show.
Yeah. Walter,
Yeah.
I guess, isn't practicing what he preaches. So he got involved with a real pretty girl who was definitely a 304 because she, no, I don't know.
Oh, this is funny.
But you be the judge. You tell me if she seems like a 304.
I hope that's him. Is that Fresh?
Dude, no. So this is our boys here. Guess which is which.
Okay, so Fit has to be the tall one.
Tall one on the left, yeah.
Yep. And
Look
the
at
other one
Fresh.
is,
A sad mistake.
yeah, not Fresh.
Yeah. A late, never mind, I was going to say.
These two guys
Yeah.
line up beautiful women
Yeah.
and try to tell them
And shit on 'em.
what's wrong with them.
These
Oh,
guys.
this is so ridiculous.
These guys.
Yeah.
So the guy on the left, Myron or Fit, is a very good debater, clever guy.
We can tell right off the bat that it's
Who's
because
who? You can see the roles. Who's who?
But you know why they act the way they do and they talk the way
course.
look, this is obvious.
Yeah.
They didn't get
I just started working out a few years ago, so now I just got in shape. I never got pussy before this day.
a girl's never spoken to me. Yeah. And so now I'm angry.
And then Fit Fresh over here is like, I've still never spoken to a girl.
yeah, one day.
Yeah.
But why would I want to?
These 304 ass hoe ass.
And which one is transitioning?
Both.
That's going to happen
So
eventually.
yeah, the one on the right is transitioning to the one on the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which one's the hypocrite?
Yes.
The short one? Oh, both.
Yes. So check it out. Look at these 305s. I don't know. So here we go. Let's go to our good friend Walter.
Money or clout, and he says that he has game, and everybody there you could tell is cringing and just laughing at him.
You said something on like last show when I was on. That was a little bit alarming.
So that's DJ Academics.
Okay.
And he's on the show, and he's talking about Walter. He's saying, you said something last time that was a little, that gave him a pause.
Careful
Interesting.
what they want me for. That being said, this shorty here, bro. Listen. That shorty there, bro, wants me for me, 100%. All right, say what you want.
You said that she was very different from every girl you meet in Miami. When I've heard you speak about every girl in Miami before, you generalize.
No, that being said, when I met her, I saw she hadn't been tainted yet. She hadn't been like in certain circles where like, you know what? Damn, she's gone through the street.
Why do you think she's interested in you?
Tainted
Oscar.
yet.
I know.
I was
It's
gonna say, can I answer this?
Of course.
I feel like the first
Yeah, I'm sure
day
she's
that I
a
met you,
good girl.
having that genuine
That's the girl?
conversation on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, on the was it 60 foot long? Was it 85 foot?
I
Oh, you missed
couldn't
it.
even
So
tell.
he asked her out a few times, and she wouldn't go out with him. And then he asked her
course.
out on a yacht, and she said, "Okay, I guess." But here's her
Then I
rationale.
met you having that genuine conversation on the boat.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Genuine competition. Was it 60 foot long? Was it 85 foot?
I couldn't even
Free
tell you. See, I am a very big personality person. So
Oof.
if you
No,
came up to me and you
baby.
just came
No.
and was
I
like,
love
"Hey,
that women do that.
If
And-
that's true,
not
look at his personality and what he does
Yeah.
for a show.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
would you want anything to do with somebody that talks down to an entire group of people and
to more
pretends
than
they're all
half
the
the
same?
population? Yeah.
that's
So
ridiculous,
it's nuts.
dude.
But
Oh, this is silly.
no, I know, and it's so funny when girls
he's
like that
defending
are like, I just want a guy who can make me laugh, and then there's the funniest dude in the world, and they're like, oh, get away from me, and then they're always dating this tall hot guy. It's like I just like funny guys, and this tall hot guy's never made her laugh
Yeah.
a day in his either of their lives.
No,
It's like,
but
no, you
he's
don't care about
probably
personality.
scared her physically before.
He's punched the wall next to her
Yeah,
head.
exactly.
Yeah, he makes me laugh. Yeah,
There's
cry.
a bunch of dents in the car door.
Yeah.
So
Remember
okay.
that one time? It was so funny. We laugh now about it, but
Right.
it was horrifying then. When you tried to hold my car in place when I tried to drive away, yeah, it's like, yeah, she's fucking crazy. But I just like personality. I'm personality based. I like personalities.
Okay, so this guy not practicing what he preaches.
But check it out, to the nth freaking degree.
He asked a girl out on
let
a
me get your
date
number.
on a
That's a no for
yacht.
me.
Yeah.
The fact
yeah.
that
You wanna meet
he
somebody-
invited me and he's been
That's not how you
invited
do
me
it.
out before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the way.
You know what I mean? You want to
And
meet
it
like a
was
nice,
just the fact
legitimate,
that-
normal person. You go to the library. Meet at the grocery
Whole
store.
Foods, baby, yeah.
At your work, like or,
Sure. Strip club.
Hey, you beautiful woman, come on a yacht with me, and then I'll try and
Hold
convince
on.
you to date me.
Tell me a joke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure that took place.
yeah. Are you funny though? And he's not.
How many
hey,
views,
D-Livewire,
how
look at
many
that
views
badge.
do you get? Like, yeah, come
Giving
on.
life. What's up, brother?
dude.
So, all right, now that the chat's filling up, and now I'm feeling,
yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm really getting that fire under my ass.
So this guy's a
Oh,
clown.
it's an actual lighter.
He's creating a situation that he himself would denigrate and talk shit about.
Absolutely. Under
Okay.
any other circumstances, they would be talking shit, but you don't even get how crazy this shit gets. So, let's continue.
That me and my roommate were
that
sitting
it
at
was a
home. No, me and my roommate were sitting at home, and I was like, "Wow, what are we gonna do tonight?" And then, like at that moment, he texted me and he was like,
Either
"Hey, do
go
you
ride with
guys?"
scooters or get on the yacht. Let's talk about it.
And
Let's talk about it.
He's
DJ
not a
Academic.
materialistic person at
Let's talk
all.
about-
I could be if I wanted to. I don't care about that shit. Like my dream car is a fucking Honda Civic. Like I don't.
She's been
there's
using
nothing
that
about me
line
materialistic.
for
You said he
10
invited you out
years.
before. Why you didn't go before?
Hold on.
I was always busy, or like I was
But
pretty
the
near.
yacht,
to-
you were busy
so
for the yacht,
I was
right?
living.
Hold on, wait.
No.
You see what your problem is? You think that because I have clout, everyone wants me for clout. However, for you, that's true. For me, it's not. I
Oh,
actually
now
have
he's getting
game, bro, right?
defensive.
That
He's
being said, hold on.
attacking his
That
own
being said,
people.
Dude,
right,
hold
bro?
on. Did you hear what he
Your
said, though?
experience, right?
And everyone's reaction?
Clout, everyone wants me for clout. However, for you, that's true. For me, it's not. I actually have game, bro, right? That being said, hold on. That being said, right, bro?
Look at her
Everyone
reaction.
laughs.
Experience, right? With
Even
girls,
the girl
it's
next to
tainted
him
'cause you
laughs.
want
Yeah.
me for clout.
Yeah.
That's what either, bro, wants me for me.
Dude, she doesn't want clout, bro. Honestly, she didn't want to do this live stream. She's doing this
This,
for me,
tell me this
so
isn't a healthy couple
I
right
appreciate
here.
her for that.
Oh, big kiss. Mwah.
Oh, she's like so.
Like repulsed by it.
Yeah, look at that.
Hold on, best song of all time.
Do I know you?
I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P-word is wet. Come take a dive.
Can we just real quick? I hate to break up what we're talking about, but after this, can we talk about that song "WAP WAP"?
I can't. It's so over the top.
Set the feminist movement back.
Yeah, we could
100
barely
years.
even talk about it without getting the whole
What
show
G-Mom says,
blocked. Yeah.
Park that Big Mac truck. Spit in my eye. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't even want to hang out with you anymore. Like,
Yeah.
you terrified me, lady. Like Jesus Christ.
And what a great like beat and cadence, and it is a hit song.
Well, yeah, it's
but you don't.
studios.
It
These are,
doesn't need to be macaroni in a pod.
Sup,
It can
Gio?
be anything else, and it would still be a hit. Like
Yeah.
the production's beautiful.
Production's great, yeah. Hold on. Didn't you tell me that at the performance it was
Yeah, they were just slamming into each other on stage for like 10 minutes. It was rough at the awards.
Park that big Mac
It was
truck
just
in the
smashing into each other, literally. It just looked like two people like that were blindfolded, just ramming into each other at full speed.
and didn't know how to like turn out of each other.
Yeah, they're like, how do we get out of this? Yeah.
Park that big Mac truck in this little garage.
It was like two Legos like forced together because they're put together the wrong way, and then
Or like
a little kid just
it's,
smashing.
yeah, no,
them.
it's like in a movie, like you see just the girls smacking against each other, and then it cuts to a kid playing with dolls.
There you go.
And the whole intro was actually a kid just playing with the thing.
That's what it was like.
That's what it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna kill you.
Just a lot of smashing into each other.
Yeah, it sounds great.
I was like, oh, good. I'm glad I have a 10-year-old daughter right now.
Yeah.
That probably will see this.
Watching Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
Two of the most influential musicians of that time.
Yeah.
Smashing into each other at full speed.
Like two
saying,
like two dry whales.
On TV, the whole thing was bleeped out. You didn't hear a word of the song. So it was.
Park that.
Yeah. It was smacks.
In that little garage.
I think it's different when you have like a daughter,
I'm
but
sure.
even you find it to be repulsive.
It's repulsive. Yeah. I'm not like, damn, she a freak.
I'm like, man, music
like,
can be good without this. You
Yeah.
don't have to go this far.
I'm like, I like nice dinners and like I'll give you a back rub.
Yeah.
I don't want to spit in your eye. If I could just said.
We don't need to talk about it at least.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about it, as DJ Academic said. Dude, that's his girl. That's his girl.
No, it's not. Based on this video, it is not. She is not. She looks grossed out.
She looks repulsed.
Yeah.
CTB, what's up? She said it won't let me hit the like button. Weird. That's the last thing we want.
Yeah, that sucks.
That blows.
Well, that explains
yeah.
it.
Well, there we go. Well, now we have our answer, damn it.
So there it is.
Yeah.
Son of a bee.
Anyone else having that problem? Yeah, please let me know if anyone else is having that
CTB
issue.
with the badge and everything.
I know,
Look at
her and
you.
D-Livewire
D-Livewire
looking
got a
sick as
cool blue badge. I like that.
Yeah, one's teal, one's blue. Given life, this isn't any good female. There isn't any good female artists out there that have good sense in their head.
You know who I really, really like though is
Britney Spears.
No, the rapper. She's just brilliant.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki.
Love her.
Oh my God.
Love her.
She is so brilliant with her words.
She's very clever.
The way she puts.
Dude, I find her very attractive.
And she's a beautiful girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find her very attractive.
But I think she is like one of the smartest rappers.
Yeah,
out
she's
there.
good.
Oh my gosh.
She's like Little
Yeah.
Kim times 10. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's the best female rapper I've ever heard. I'm sure there's some really good ones out there.
Lil Ma.
She's my
yeah,
favorite.
Whoever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's watch this train wreck unfold because it's so much fun.
SZA, there you go.
Beta male. Do you know who that guy is, by the way?
Well, it's inside. Spit in
Nope.
my mouth. Look in my eyes. This P-word is wet. Come take a dive.
That guy?
No.
Oh, so he's this black dude who goes on. He has his own radio show.
Yeah.
And he's like anti everything, like anti-trans, anti-feminist,
Okay.
beta male. That was him.
Just
saying,
whatever.
Beta male.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Whatever it
and
is.
he'll just say the crazy shit. One day, I actually want on our next cast on Blast. I might do about him.
Okay.
Or next.
So let's save
not
it.
next week, but the week after.
let's finish
I'm gonna
this
do.
one.
I'm gonna do on him. Anyway, yeah. Let's finish this one.
Yeah,
It's
her
been
is
10
great.
years.
SZA's great. Good call out.
We met on Seeking.
Yeah, so we met on there. We definitely spoke. And then our
Did you?
Instagram-
You fucking
And that
idiot.
was
He's
just
so
like, come
dumb.
on.
It hurts.
Yeah.
And
We
talked
definitely
for
spoke.
a minute.
We didn't talk for like months because I didn't really want to meet people for a while. I was kind of taking a break because I had a
Meanwhile, she was on
Like,
100
living situation
dates.
at the time.
She just doesn't want to say.
I was not-
I finally gave
Last
in.
week you were with this dude.
She was getting
This
finger
week you were with
cuffed.
this dude. I see everything. I'm not gonna say no names, but I will say she's here.
Oh.
And she's beside fresh.
And listen to her rationale.
They were trying to expose me, but like you have to like date around. I don't know.
Hold on, you gotta come back. Hold on.
Let's normalize playing the Bachelorette in your personal life.
You wanna have a hot girl summer? All right, bitch. You're gonna have a bunch of hot girl summers by yourself. Pause.
Don't.
All I'm gonna say now.
It's
nigga, my turn.
fine.
That's all I'm gonna say.
It's
Okay,
my
next.
turn. So it's fine if she acts like that, and it's fine if they act like that. You can't combine. You can't have him dating that girl. if they talk like that and she is that.
If that to him is the worst thing there is.
Yes. Yeah. Where he's literally preaching to young men how horrible this type of woman
behavior is. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
red
behavior
flags,
is a
red flags.
flag. Yeah.
Red flags. And we'll get to red flags in a moment because that's a quote of his.
Get over yourself.
So then our buddy here, smart, handsome man that he is, got caught up. After he stopped dating this girl, he started dating... Hold on.
If he's just dating Instagram models or...
yes, Jared.
What's the other one called?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. That's ridiculous to do a show about how you dislike them.
That's his girl. He started dating a Chinese national who is an Instagram model.
Right. So this is everything he's against.
Everything he claims to be against.
Yeah.
And he's doing it happily.
So he's doing it so he can find girls like this because he couldn't do it before.
Yep. Because now he has a little clout and a little money and he can get these kind of girls. But check it out, dude. It gets worse.
It's so weird when they're so obvious about it.
Tearing down women that we associate with, like sending them really weird and perverted messages.
And she's new to America, bro. She's like, wow, why can't someone buy a gift? Why can't someone do these things, for example, just in general?
What they're referring to is she went on their show and talked about this Van Cleef bracelet that he bought her. And he's like, no, I didn't buy that for her. You know, clearly he did. And then they lied about it. But check it out. It just gets...
GL said she wasn't looking for anybody, but she's on dating apps.
Yeah. Good catch.
Good catch, bro.
Good catch. That's funny.
That's funny.
Yeah. I'm not looking...
I really wasn't trying to date anybody.
Yeah.
But we met on a dating app seeking arrangements.
Yeah. Which is... Wait, is that what they said?
Seeking.
Isn't that the fucking sugar daddy one?
Yeah, that's the one for like hooking
He's
up.
on the sugar daddy website?
He is the he is...
He's a
true
hypocrite, bro.
Hypocrite.
A true and blue hypocrite.
Yeah, so please don't listen to people like this. Don't use them as examples, please.
No. Don't. You don't want to be fresh.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't want to be Walter.
Or maybe Fresh is learning. Maybe he's growing as a person and he's realizing that you can't lump all of these people into one category and pretend that they're all the same. Maybe there's a nuance to humanity.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Maybe.
Could he be growing? No, you don't
he's
think
not.
so.
Oh, and I'll
Okay.
prove that to you
He's a
right now.
piece.
Actually, I
Okay.
have facts. He's not growing. No, he's a piece of shit.
And they're like, oh, Fresh. I'm like, bro, you have no idea. You weren't even here.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even live in Miami. Like, come on, man.
Bro.
You don't even live in Miami, so you don't know how
This girl comes
things
from a
work.
rich-ass family.
Yeah, bro.
You know how difficult it is to get a visa as a Chinese...
So check it out. Them defending this is great.
Even his buddy's defending it?
Do. Yeah.
I figured his buddy would be like, bro, what are you doing?
You'd assume.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you realize you're getting... Like what they do to older other people that come on the
Guests,
show.
yeah.
Older other guests, they'd be like, bro, you know you're getting played. You know this
Yeah.
chick's doing this. It's obvious. No, instead they're like, no, this girl comes from money. So he can buy her gifts that are expensive, but that doesn't matter because she comes from money.
She's the
'Cause she can
daughter of
buy-
a Nigerian prince.
Yeah, the Chinese national. Yeah. Because it doesn't matter. She can't be a gold digger because she comes from money.
Oh,
so
yeah,
she
yeah.
can never be a gold digger.
Yeah.
She can't want to date somebody who gives her a nice
You
lifestyle.
look poor. Who was that chick? You look poor. Why do you dress so poor? Remember,
Hermione? I
She
don't
was
know.
fake. She pretended that she was like this heiress, and then they ended up finding out she was just nobody.
She was a junkie
and she
from the
got
street
everything
corner.
for free,
look poor.
and hung out with all these rich people, and she ended up getting caught. They were all using their credit cards to pay for her life because they thought she was like this billionaire. But she was just She was just playing a role.
Winona Ryder. Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. I can't remember her name, but she does. There's a Netflix show about her, and that's what she says to her lawyer. Why do you look poor? Why do you dress so poor? Like she's so awful.
Oh, she sounds.
But she's nobody.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, she pretended she was an heiress.
That's great.
And everyone believed her.
Yeah, that's great. Was she like really pretty and like articulate?
No. But she was very good at knowing the lifestyle and who to be friends with and how to make it look like you come from
like
money.
caviar and
Right.
champagne.
She knew about art.
That's all you
or
need to do.
She knew about like stuff that they would like. But
Is this a Monet or a Monet? Oh,
there
this
you
is
go.
a Monet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She just knew how to sneak her way into the circles. And once
Yeah.
she was in the circles, everyone paid for her because they're
Yeah.
like, oh, she.
And you're there.
We'll take
It's
care
sort
of
of
her.
like Alex Jones sneaking into Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Like, you're there, you're here, so you must be one of us. Hey, remember when we killed Kennedy? It's like,
Yeah, there you go.
I sure do.
It's like when famous people get sent a big truckload of free Nikes. Like it's like,
Yeah, an athlete.
That's who needs them.
Yeah, an athlete.
How about we send them to a school in
and then
a
yeah,
poor
and then there's
neighborhood?
kids in Africa walking in flip flops that
There
their
go.
dad used to own.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But no,
before he
we're going
got
to send
shot.
the billionaire a bunch of free clothes and shoes.
Hey, will you
that
wear
don't
our
fit him.
merch, please? Here's
Yeah.
all the coolest shit we have. I could just go buy it myself, but no, I'll wear it now
No,
that
yeah.
you've given
Thank
it to
you,
me.
yeah.
And I'll give half of it away to my friends who aren't going to wear it on
Always.
TV.
It's all their friends, yeah.
So, you know what we got to do? We got to become friends with a star. Or we make a show. Check it out. Hear me out.
Okay.
About like one famous person and then his crew, his gang, his entourage.
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get where you're going.
Yeah. And we'll call it The Crew.
Oh.
Entourage.
I like
That's a
the
better
Entourage.
idea. It's a great show. It's dated, but it's cute.
It's one of the best shows ever.
Oh, that's not
Ari
crazy.
is so good.
Ari's one of the greatest characters ever, but it's not
Ever.
one of the best shows. It's a fun show.
Yeah, I had a lot
But
of fun.
yeah, that's how rich people stay rich. They,
They
get
get
everything,
everything
free.
for
I know.
free. Yep.
Dude, I just had this celebrity chef that I used to work with.
Yeah.
Came into this place that I was working at, and I'm
Someone
like,
walked in and
hey.
handed him diamonds.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty
Me,
much.
I did. Take my jewelry. No, he comes in and then the chef from this restaurant that I'm at comes out and then he's like, oh man, and he's like, oh wait, don't leave yet. I want to make you some. He makes him this beautiful bone marrow and all this like, crazy shit. He
On
didn't
us,
ask for
on
it.
us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He didn't ask for it. He didn't want it. He just the chef's hoping like
The restaurant's barely keeping the doors open.
yeah. The
That's how it
GM's
goes.
pulling his hair out.
Yeah.
He's almost bald now. He's like, oh, we're going to cover this. It's the bone marrow. Yeah. Anyway.
Did you cover it in diamonds?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a watch. Quick. We need more diamonds to give to the celebrity chef. But that's a good scheme, the whole, I like caviar and champagne. I'm an heiress
Yeah.
to
She
Latvia.
dude.
Latveria.
Watch that show. It's good. There's documentaries too about it. She slayed it.
I like it.
Fooled everybody.
So yeah, he started dating this OF model. These guys, his boy Myron is coming to his aid.
Okay.
Because Fresh cannot talk for himself. He needs Fit to talk.
Yeah, apparently.
And we'll get into that too.
As often as she does, she comes from a very wealthy family, bro.
So she could be a
And
gold digger.
I don't know why Fresh hasn't explained this before, but she comes. That's what it is.
Okay.
All right? Her family-
He's like just coming up with it. I don't know why Fresh never said this before, but that's what it is.
Yeah. Remember we talked about this was
solved.
going to be the main thing we said.
Yeah. So problem solved. So everyone leave us alone now. Never talk to us again, please, about this. So what do you think, worst case, if you're dating a OF model or like an Instagram model and you guys are just banging, having a little fun, worst case scenario would be...
Having a baby?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's what
100%.
happens?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, good.
100%. She gets
Good.
predators.
This is good.
Yeah, man.
Because that's what you should have.
Yep.
That's
dude,
what should happen.
And she really... it's so good. Here's the phone call.
The baby because I don't want to kill the baby.
Stalker. He's a simp. You know, he got.
By the way,
say that on the show.
Too lazy to try. One of the best channels on the YouTube. He's so
Okay.
good. Too lazy to try. He breaks down. Basically, Cast on Blast is his like entire thing.
Yeah,
but
we're
he-
putting a
he
lot
talks
of
about
people on
comedians.
blast in this
And now she
episode.
claims she's pregnant, so he might be on the hook for child support.
I
Careful
want
for
the baby
certain.
because I don't want to kill the baby. I
Yeah,
don't want
like-
to kill nobody.
It will be
I
alright.
don't want to.
Because his video's up. So
You're not. They just give you a pill and it's over.
No.
he's so dumb.
Oh
He's-
wow! So he
I'm
wants
pregnant.
to get rid of it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't.
They just give you a pill.
In my religion, we don't kill.
Oh, sweetie, you don't get it.
You're not killing it.
No. They just give you a pill, dum dum.
Oh, this is so bad.
You don't get it,
dude.
little dum dum. They just.
But
give
I
you a
thought she was
pill.
perfect. Wasn't this the woman for you? Everything's great. I
Yeah.
thought she's rich.
She
and
doesn't want your money.
fine,
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys are in love. What's wrong?
Yeah, why aren't you happy that she's pregnant?
This is strange.
Yeah, she's not.
So he's a hypocrite in all things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's just
I want
dumb
to
as a
keep the
box of
baby.
cake. I don't know what that means.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna go kill myself.
like I said, I just don't want any kids.
You want abortion?
It's like childish, where he's like, well,
I mean, yeah.
I don't want this, so it's not happening because I don't want it. So I said no, so it's not happening. You know what I mean? It's like very childish.
Dude, this guy sucks.
Dude, he sucks so
I
bad.
really don't like
He
this guy.
sucks so bad. But hold on, there's a few things I want to point out. He's so bad.
This is all I know about
why
him.
do you make me
but
pregnant
it's
now?
not great.
This is
So I'm like,
his
there's
highlight
no
reel.
way that's true. But then I said, oh wow, like
He's so dumb.
So just think about it. It's meant to be.
It's meant to be, she said.
God wants you to have the baby.
Dude, I would hang up. I'd be terrified.
It is. God wants you to have a baby. 7 years never happened, and then you're you're fucking me for a month, and I'm pregnant. What does that mean?
That I didn't wear a condom.
Now I
And
just
you're
think
not on
about
birth
it,
control.
if you force me to kill the baby, then you're a sin.
You're a sin.
well, we already sin by having sex.
Well, obviously, they have great conversations.
They have good chemistry. She speaks perfect English, so it's communication is probably their main thing.
That's what they said.
So, he's a goofball, and he's foolish.
Maybe this will stop.
I'm gonna leave on screen some of
people
these text messages if you guys want to pause it and read these texts
from
'cause
looking
they're
up to this guy.
They're bananas. Some of the shit that they say to each other. And then he brings his lawyer on. I'm not even gonna play that. We're gonna skip that. But so I want to tell you. Here's Myron going off. That's fresh or fit.
Okay.
Here's Myron going off talking about how she's a liar. Okay. So check it out. We're at 1702. So yeah, just saying she's a liar.
That's how I pictured him before you showed me his
Please
picture.
listen to me here. Just shut up.
It amazes me that you guys are so quick to believe that gets on the internet that clearly did this, set it up, premeditated, went to Instagram immediately after illegally recording a phone call, and you guys are so quick to say, wow, Fresh, you're such a bad guy, blah, blah, blah. Bro,
It's a good
this
impression.
chick is lying. This is my take. I mean, I'm not privy to the conversations that Fresh had with his counsel.
They're
but-
trying to say she's a liar?
She's lying. Right?
Oh,
so
dude.
she's not pregnant. She's doing
These
this for
guys
clout.
are really bottom of the fucking barrel, dude.
But check it out. But wait, there's more. Okay, hold on. But check it out, dude.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't know about this show.
Yeah, genius he is. Sort of spoils it. Check it out.
In a 304, which is hilarious
All right.
because Myron and the
okay, but here we go.
narrative, like, hey, this girl, she could be completely full of shit. Who knows if she's pregnant? I mean, you can't trust her. You
All right,
you have
lazy.
a lot of money and success. She clearly wants to take advantage of that. But then he's just like, yeah, I do regret nutting in her, though. I clearly made a mistake there.
Say this.
Listen.
I personally should not have nutted within a 304 like this. Now, granted,
Now she's
So
things happen,
she's
whether true or
lying,
not.
Yeah.
but you just
But-
admitted.
Yeah.
Like you said, James, I'll keep my mouth shut.
And
Without the
she's
info here,
this
I wanna share with the
garbage
chat.
now that this is happening.
tell
Now
these
she's a
dudes to shut up.
304.
It's
She's
definitely a
not
smart move.
Yeah.
this wonderful woman that he fell in
This
love
amazing
with anymore.
catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chase is laughing.
What a joke this guy is.
Just a loser. And so Myron, he's like, she's a liar. She's a fucking this, that, and the third. Freaking out, right? Being an asshole. But at least he can contain his emotions very well. And D Lavar said, who even cares? Yeah,
Yeah.
the internet cares a lot about these garbage people. Oh, cool. Video's unavailable. I don't need it anyway. So,
What I do is I assess things that need to be fixed.
So somebody calls in, and
Yeah.
this is just, let's talk about Fresh, just the worst person we've seen from this, just a piece of shit, right? Hypocritical, liar, doesn't practice what he preaches. But not only that, he's like useless. And here's how he's useless. So a caller calls in and hits the nail on the head. So here's the last little bit that I want to play for you guys.
What I do is I assess things that need to be fixed. And from watching your show, been watching your show for a while, and I believe that you could relegate Fresh's contribution to the podcast to 4 buttons on your stream deck.
That's great.
That's my one critique. Now, if you need me to go more into that, I also have a book that has been already written on Fresh's contribution to the show. It's called Why Myron Deserves Fresh. It's spell checked by Aaron C. Poxon.
What I don't know what that means.
I'm being serious. I've already done the cover art and everything, and I got like Fresh's bio on the back and stuff. It's only 3 pages because that's all I could really come up with. as far as
So he
contribution.
says he does 4 things that
Yeah.
could be done on a stream deck, right?
Yeah.
He says, so ladies, he says, red flag. He says, last thoughts on the show, which is what they do when they go around the table. And then his fourth contribution is, how do you guys jerk off? Let me explain. Let him explain what he's talking about. It's just a second long. It's so odd, dude. What does that even mean?
This whole thing is ridiculous.
Okay, well, the topic was about, I guess, you were saying something about Jergens, like Jergens lotion, and then you said, how do you guys jerk off? And I remember...
What does that mean?
Myron...
With my hand? Like, what are you talking about?
What? I wanted to know, what did you mean by that when you asked that question? Like, it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, I was trolling. I was trolling.
Everyone believes you, sweetie.
Okay. The other thing, when you said there's no girl who has ever said anything bad about Fresh, do you guys remember the black woman that had the pink hair, the green dress, and she had some dirt on you, Fresh? It was when DJ Academics was on the show.
I remember.
And she's like, oh, I got some...
What do you think the excuse
Did you ever
is?
find out what that dirt was?
100%.
What do you think?
It was trolling.
What was it?
It was
Can
nothing.
you tell us?
That's also
I made
trolling.
a whole stream on my channel.
That
about
he
it.
buys.
It was all trolling. Oh, me? I was just trolling. Oh, that girl, she was just trolling. So nothing is genuine. Everything is bullshit.
Always.
Anyway.
Yeah, he
so
is total bullshit.
He's just the worst
What
thing
a
ever.
clown. Yeah,
So-
perfect for Cast on
Cast on
Blast,
Oh, shit.
dude.
Cast on Blast.
Ugh, that was
Cast
rough.
on Blast. Rough. And it's caught the internet ablaze. There's so much to the story. It's hard to condense
So
it into
that
just a
show's
few
got
minutes.
a lot of people that watch it, huh?
Yeah, lots.
So wow.
Lots and lots of
Well,
people.
good. Now they get to see who they're watching.
So everyone who watches this show and watches that show can be like, oh, now I've learned things. Now
Hmm.
I know things. So next, we're going to talk about time slipping and something like that.
Dude, let's get into some freaking time travel.
And then we're going to talk a little news, and then we're going to talk more about that. And we got a conspiracy corner. Conspiracy corner is going to be fucking
Conspiracy Corner is crazy. And it's because we don't have a lot of time left, I'm going to...
Well, remember how long that thing was. So.
Still, I'm going to tell a few really good stories that I found about time travel. I've always been so interested in time travel. I think the idea of it's great, theoretically possible, and a lot of great minds have believed that it could be done or has already been done.
Yeah.
Some people believe we see the actual result of time travelers operating now. The Mandela effect, one of the reasons for that people pose is that it's because of time travelers.
Yeah.
Which would make sense.
Real quick question.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I agree with that. But that Mandela effect stuff scares me. But we went on a lot of tangents. But did you glean any good information from that entire Cast on Blast, or was that sort of a pointless exercise in futility?
To me, it really shined a spotlight on people that act and talk like that,
and then
are
how they actually
full of
are.
shit.
Yeah.
Are full of shit, and they shouldn't have anyone that looks up to them.
Did I show enough to give the context for why he's?
I didn't know anything about them, so yeah, I think I know enough now.
Okay, that he obviously doesn't practice what he.
And
preaches.
it's not somebody that I would ever want to listen to or watch.
His face annoys the fuck out of me. But the other guys, he's a good debater. I'll give him that. Fit, the one who we didn't really hear from too much. I had a good I had a good thing of him freaking out. Anyway, we got on a lot of tangents, but go on. All right, go on. So
the government. So when the Manhattan Project started, there were two projects going on simultaneously. I hinted to this earlier when I said that Teller and Oppenheimer had two simultaneous projects going on.
Yeah, that was the pre-show.
And this comes from whistleblower testimony and from actual chrononauts, as they're called. People that have claimed to have used government technology to travel through time. And there are several rules to this.
Why are they called chrononauts?
Chrono is time, and like astronauts.
Oh, like they travel time.
Yeah,
Got it.
Time travelers. There's something called Project Pegasus. And if you've never heard of Project Pegasus, the goal of Project Pegasus, just like the Manhattan Project, it had a goal in mind. The goal was to use time as a weapon, as either a way of defending the country or attacking our enemies, right? If you know events before they're going to happen, you can
Absolutely.
prevent them, or you can set certain events into motion. It also gives us the ability to look back in time and see how events truly unfolded in certain things that we don't know about, right?
Yeah.
So we can learn a lot from time travel. One of the most famous chrononauts, he was a boy when he started the program. Apparently, Project Pegasus, the end goal of this was to give the elite and the government heads of state
what's the difference?
The ability to travel through a different timeline if there was a cataclysmic event.
Sure.
A way to keep
Let's
them
go to the
safe.
one where this shit didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So they
Where
tested
Kennedy
on
was
children.
never shot.
Yeah, that could be out there. So Project Pegasus is a lot of fun. There's one guy who knows a lot about it. He called into Coast to Coast a few times and gave his account of what it was like to be a
For
chrononaut.
Coast to Coast, can we?
Yeah, Coast to Coast.
I mean, for real.
What a show. Yeah. What a freaking show.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Just Art Bell, man, the king.
So this guy, Andrew Bassiano, he said that he worked for Project Pegasus, which is a DARPA project. DARPA's whole thing is to prevent military surprise. That's their goal. That's their edict. They want to never have the enemy attack us before we can attack them, or never be surprised by an attack, like a 9/11 type surprise. That's their job. So create tech, use whatever resources you need in order to accomplish that goal.
Given Life said the movie Deja Vu. Yeah.
Yeah, there
Remember
you go.
that?
That's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love how they used it.
So Project Pegasus,
Yep.
that was in the MCU, Project Pegasus. Remember that?
Yeah, they had that was their
I don't remember. I
the
was trying to
cube.
think of it.
I think there's the
The
Tesseract.
Tesseract thing?
Yeah,
Was it?
I think it
Maybe.
was.
Could have been.
So the real Project
Love that
Pegasus.
movie.
So there's a couple. They started out in the 60s and 70s with the help of Oppenheimer and Teller in the 40s. They started playing with time viewing, and they created something called. And what's funny is. There's a book about it, but it has nothing to do with Project Pegasus. Something called the chronovisor. Do you remember this?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the Catholic Church, there was a book written by a priest who said they had something called the chronovisor, and it allowed them to view through time.
The mirror golden ratio thing, right?
No, that's something else.
Damn it! I don't know anything.
So yeah, this was a priest who said that he had used it to see the actual crucifixion. He
You told me
wrote
this.
he wrote a book about it.
You told me about this.
Yeah. But by the 60s and 70s, we had developed a way using the DARPA chronovisor to create a holographic reproduction of any place in space and time. So why is it important that we create holographic versions instead of actually sending people to these locations?
Butterfly effect.
You say exactly. There's a lot of things you could do and screw up a timeline.
Any little thing, yeah.
But you also can't come back home if you go anywhere further than when time travel was created. If the device doesn't exist 10 years ago, you can't come home.
Yeah.
So you're stuck in whatever timeline they send you to.
Yeah.
So they started out sending people back a day.
Have you ever seen the
2 days?
Have you ever seen the movie Primer?
I don't think so.
I heard it's the greatest time travel movie ever made. We need to see this movie. Can we see this movie? Maybe we should watch it with the
I would want to look and see what it is. Let's make sure it's actually a legit film.
Oh no, I've been trying to watch this movie for a minute. It's a legit film. It's legit.
Okay.
It's just I heard.
I'm just surprised I never heard of it.
You've never heard of it. I'm very surprised you've never heard of it either. My friends who are the biggest movie buffs all say it's fabulous.
Okay.
So it's not like some bullshit movie. Maybe we should do it for a membership only, like
maybe
watch or
Yeah.
something. Because that'd be fun. Because I've never seen it. You've never seen it, and it's like a badass movie apparently about time travel.
Okay. All right. So yeah.
Let's do
So
it.
maybe
Let's
so.
watch it.
So
We'll
yeah.
find it.
So
We'll pay for it
so
and
this
watch
guy Andrew, he goes through his account of starting time travel when he's around 5-6 years old. They start using him for this chronovisor testing. Apparently, it's this huge crystal array, and when you're on the actual chronovisor stage, it creates this 3D holographic image of any time and space that you want. And so he was able to go back and see the dinosaurs. He was able to go see, Lincoln give a
Gettysburg
speech.
Address.
Yeah, you get so any point in time, but you can't interact with with anything. You can just see it. But once you're in the array, you can walk around, you can go travel, and you can go.
You can't
up
touch
mountains
anything though, right?
You can't
'Cause
change
it's all
anything. It's just
holographic. It's all
holographic.
fake.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So that's cool. So then they wanted to send people through time, and they started doing it. But again, you can only send people back as far as the machine was created. So it starts by sending people back a few days, and after the program's been around a few years, you could start going back a few years. There were some issues though, and because they used children, unfortunately, some children got hurt.
Yeah, why did they do that?
So what they would do is they were able to give you a general idea of where you would end up, and they would teach the children, okay, once you get there, in case you go to the wrong time and place, because they didn't have a total control over where you ended up. If you find
you didn't end up just in the same time space.
you could end
just
up
in a different
20
time?
years ago and never be able to get home. So they actually had training where if this happens, if you end up in a place in a time that we can't get you back, find the nearest responsible adult and have them adopt you and raise you. They would teach them this whole, there was a whole process involved in if
There's
you got
a little
lost
card
in
they
time.
hand out. Sorry, I have a disease where I was lost in time.
It's scary, right? But you can't talk about the project, can't talk about anything.
Pegasus, adopt me.
During some of these sessions, when they sent a couple kids back, one of the kids actually ended up in a fountain. So the two boys arrive, one's in a fountain, one's on the cement in a park.
Where's Billy?
And because of the water, his foot arrived just a split 0.001 second later than the rest of his body because of the water. And it slid his foot right off of his leg. So little stuff like that you got to be careful with. Because you have to take into the account of where the Earth is going to be as it's traveling through space and the spin of the Earth. And
because if I say I want to be at this place in 1 year ago, the Earth wasn't exactly so. I would be.
You are
fucking
thousands of miles away
way over in Timbuktu, bruh.
Because the Earth is flying through space at thousands of miles per hour. So you would not be here in the same if you tried to come to the same exact point. So there's a lot of calculation that goes involved. But they were able to make it work, and they were able to send people through time. What they love to use it for was teleportation. They say, the people in the project, that there are teleportation gateways in certain strategic places around the U.S., and that the president can teleport to a bunker if he needs to, stuff like that.
That'd be the way to use it.
And this is all DARPA tech, and there's only a few people that even know that this stuff exists.
DARPA, like the DARPA chief from
exactly right
from Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Solid.
So I thought it was really interesting, and if you like this kind of stuff, coast to coast, look into Project Pegasus. There's a few cool episodes about it. But that's just one example of a time machine that the government has control of, and the chronovisor, a way to view time, the past, present, and future.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. But what I really thought was cool was time slipping. Have you ever heard of time slipping?
I've heard the term, and that's where, if I'm not mistaken, like the Loki thing where you like literally go in and out from this time to this time, like you can't stay in the same place, or
kind of. It's where just for no reason at all,
you end up in fucking
conditions have to be a certain
1956
way.
New York City.
Now the universe is, and once you get to the quantum level, we still don't fully understand how all of these systems work. When you talk about like the collapsing wave equation, where or what's it called, where something can occupy two states simultaneously. There's a lot of mystery still to the universe.
Yeah.
But there are these stories where people suddenly find themselves in a different time than they're from.
Crazy.
Sometimes it only lasts a few minutes, a few hours, a few days, and then they're back. And I found a cool example of this. And I have a video for it.
Let's watch it.
This is one of the most well-known examples of time slipping.
Okay.
And this is an actual military or not whistleblower, but witness, a military witness to time slipping.
So, Given Life said he time travels every time he sleeps, and then Chase.
That's
Mac
part of the experiments.
said,
Yeah.
Do you know? Have you heard of Boyd Bushman?
No.
No. Chase, who is Boyd Bushman, if you don't mind?
Yeah. So as part of this time travel experiment, they did things like remote viewing. They did time travel while sleeping. They even induced out-of-body experiences.
It was like 30 seconds. What was it, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, 30 seconds in. They would induce out-of-body experiences. So this was all part of this same time travel project and the teleportation projects they were working on. So they did do a lot of this out-of-body stuff, astral form stuff. So when you're dreaming, yes, they would try and have you travel to other places and glean in intel from the Russians.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff like that. And there's a lot of examples of this stuff working. And if you look into any of the remote viewing papers that we've gone over some on the show. But like Joe McGonigal, who was able to find nuclear subs that no one knew even existed yet, say exactly where it is, what it looked like, how long it was, what position in the ocean.
Looking at Mars, like a millions of years in the past.
Cool stuff like that. So let's watch this quick video. So this is Victor Goddard. He was flying a plane and he slipped through time and he saw the future. And this is his story.
When an air marshal, Sir Victor Goddard, was flying from England to Scotland. And while he was flying, he wanted to fly over an airfield that he used to know, but is now abandoned. And since this was close to his destination, he wanted to go check it out. So I'm guessing that he must have had some fond memories there. And while he was flying over it, he saw that the old hangars were falling apart. The foliage was overgrown.
Oh my God! I fucking heard this story. This is the greatest.
This is crazy.
Now, after his little side mission, he decided it was time to fly to his destination in Scotland.
Yeah.
Then after a couple of days in Scotland, it was time for him to fly back home to England. And during his flight, he saw a storm approaching.
Electrical storm.
There was no way to escape the storm, so he had to fly through it.
The conditions
And while he was
just
flying,
right.
his equipment just started to go haywire. He had a very hard time flying the plane. He didn't think he was going to make it. Then he saw that he was now surrounded by strange-looking yellow clouds. He also felt that he was falling for a very long time, but he never crashed. Then finally, these bizarre yellow clouds disappeared. And when he looked down, he saw the abandoned airfield. But this time...
Or, like a symptom of time travel or something.
Maybe.
You know, maybe that's not actually how it looks, but when a wormhole opens, there's this gas.
Maybe a cosmic event, maybe some certain alignment mixed with the
maybe
moisture
that's
in the air.
atmosphere from a different. Who fucking knows? I love it.
Or what if another craft from somewhere else was opening up and coming here, and he slipped through where they came through? Who knows?
Oh,
right?
It was like a fucking switcheroo that happened. And
doorway opens,
like you said, perfect conditions, and then
it's always some weird,
Or maybe the yellow clouds. It's those people are actually trying to do a time travel like thing.
Yeah,
and then he just
was in the way.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Can't
calculate
for
that.
And he sees shit, and then it ends up being the future that comes to pass. That's the story. Anyway, let's watch.
He just Given Life just said what we said. Are you sure he didn't go through a wormhole that an alien ship made?
yeah.
Could be.
Great minds.
Yeah.
Great minds.
This airfield wasn't abandoned. The old hangars appeared to be brand new. He also saw 4 planes,
back in time. That's right.
3 which he recognized, but there was another plane that was painted yellow
future.
that he'd never seen before.
Yeah. He's
and
from back
also the
in time.
mechanics were dressed in blue overalls, which was strange, as usually the mechanics in the UK were dressed in brown overalls.
Right.
But
now, while Victor was flying, wondering what the heck was going on, the yellow
this
clouds
airfield
returned,
that was abandoned
and yet
now
again,
is
he was
bustling
surrounded
with planes that he's never seen before, a technology that doesn't exist yet, and they're wearing clothing that they didn't normally wear back then.
Yeah.
Returned, and yet again he was surrounded by the storm. But thankfully, it wasn't as bad as the first time, and he was able to break free and get back home. Now, he did tell people what had happened to him and what he saw when he returned, but no one took him seriously, so he didn't talk about it anymore. He just kept it to himself.
Yeah,
but
pal,
what really freaked him out is that in 1939, 4 years later, mechanics began to wear blue overalls. Then the RAF, the Royal Air Force, started to make new yellow monoplanes, exactly like the one he saw. He also heard that the abandoned airfield was now being rebuilt. Now Victor, after seeing what he saw come true, believed that somehow he must have looked into the future. There was just no other explanation. He also believed that the bizarre storm that surrounded him, with those strange-looking yellow clouds, must have had something to do with it. But he never talked about it again until 1966 when he wrote about it. Then in 1975, he wrote a book called
You'd have to write the story.
Reality.
You want people to know.
No, because
dude, there's some weird stuff that can happen. This is crazy.
Yeah, especially if at the time you tell people, Dude, I don't know. They're wearing blue coveralls, this, that, and the third.
Do you know of any airfield in the area that's in operation?
And this
Yellow
one's been out of
planes?
commission for fucking 10 years, whatever.
And the planes were
And
higher
then-
technology.
And then you see blue overalls, weird.
Yeah.
And you see yellow planes. You're like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Then you hear and you're like, there's no way this Air Force base is back in like commission. And then you hear it is. You're like, okay, I went to the future. Period.
There it is.
It's an abandoned airfield.
Yeah.
There's not people in blue overalls, and there's not yellow planes.
And then
there's
luckily
nothing
the storm
there.
was there again for him to pass back into his own time. Otherwise, what if he was probably stuck 4 years in the future?
We've all heard that story about a guy pops up on the streets of Times Square.
Yeah, that's a very
and
famous
gets hit
time
by a
slip
car.
story, yeah.
Gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
They check his wallet and they see it's brand new currency, but it's from a long time ago.
Yeah, even his ID.
His ID, it was old, but it was legit. The tags on his clothing were from a place that has been shut down for years. And
they find his missing persons report, and it's like 80 years old.
Yeah, so that they say that's an old wives' tale, whatever they call it, urban legend.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's all based on some fact, some reality. They take bits of truth, right?
Well, there's a few more of these weird stories. So there's this.
That's the end of this one.
That's the end of this one. So here's another good one. So there's this woman. She comes to her apartment building, and every day there's this dog that follows her to the door. And when she closes the door behind her, it's scratching at the door, trying to get in. She doesn't let it in. It's some strange dog, and she doesn't know who it belongs to.
Yeah.
And this happens day after day. And the dog looks at her like it's her dog, like it recognizes her, but she whatever. A couple months later, she gets gifted a puppy.
Yeah.
By her family because she lives alone. She's an older woman, and they want her to have a companion.
This is
so she raises this dog, and eventually,
it's her pup.
this dog she takes on a walk one day, runs off, and she never sees it again.
Yeah.
And she realizes that the dog that was trying to get in and follow her all those months and years ago was her dog that she lost. It was coming back to her like 3-4 years before she even had it. And it was she says, you can call me crazy if you want, but I know my dog.
I don't give a fuck.
When you have a dog, you know your dog.
Of course, dude.
She goes, I know that was my dog. It just found me 4 years too soon. So how crazy is that? And she never saw the dog again. It was gone.
It's so sad, but so beautiful.
It's a cute story.
Yeah.
Not so cute of a story. There's a story about a gentleman who took his family to the park and took a family photo. He was into photography. He even had his own dark room in his house, right? He would develop his own pictures. Yeah. So he develops a bunch of pictures of him and his family at the park. And all the pictures are the same. They're all just them, standing together, smiling, except for one. One photo shows him with his son, who looks a couple years older. And his wife is not his wife. It's a different woman that he's never seen before. Oh. And so he develops these pictures and he doesn't understand it. And so he even asks an investigator, what's this?
Going on?
Yeah, I've never seen this woman before in my life. The wife says, that's our son, but that's him a few years from now. That's your wife a few years from now. You're going to marry someone else. You're going to divorce me and marry this woman.
That's the wife's theory.
And that's her theory.
Okay, babe.
Right. And that's how he treats her for it. But the fighting and the jealousy causes them to get a divorce.
Oh, fuck.
And he finds himself marrying a woman that matches the exact woman in the photo.
It's those self-fulfilling prophecies thing.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
If she didn't say a goddamn word, just like, oh, how weird. Who cares?
Yeah, weird.
They might have been together till the end of time. Who knows? Yeah.
But it was because of the photo that the photo came true.
That's the chicken or the egg stuff always gets me.
Isn't that strange?
So crazy.
Was it always meant to be?
And that's the thing with time travel.
Capture that?
And then we're about to hop to the news. But that always got me with time travel is those self-fulfilling prophecy things of like, this exploded, but if this never exploded, then this person never would have made this decision, and this never would happen. Then the time machine never would have got built.
It's the Matrix thing, yeah. But don't worry about the vase. What's really going to bake your noodle later is, would you still have broken the vase if I didn't say anything?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those.
What vase?
But what is it that causes these types of situations? Like what conditions? With this guy, it was yellow clouds. But with this family, what was that? How did the camera take a picture 4 years before he got remarried? How did the dog try to get into the apartment
because
at full-grown age?
Here's
4
the
years
answer.
Before he was born.
Ready? Here's the answer: is time for us seems linear,
right?
But it fucking isn't.
It's all simultaneous.
Yeah,
I believe that
not.
too.
So just because we perceive it as, oh, yesterday was yesterday, tomorrow will always be tomorrow.
Yeah.
That we can't fathom that I could take a picture, and it doesn't have to be of this moment.
Right.
I could take a picture of 10 years
If
from
all
now.
time is simultaneous, then
But
yes.
then why couldn't I take a picture right
if
now?
the conditions
of
are
10
right.
years
You might be able to get a peek.
Whatever
into
those
a different
conditions might
space-time.
freaking be. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. So I love the example of the person in the helicopter who's watching this
Perspective.
fork in a road.
Yeah.
If you're driving down that
And
road,
I'm on the road.
you don't see the car.
I don't see anything
coming,
ahead. Yeah.
But the guy in the helicopter can see you're about to.
Does
run
that mean
into
he's
each other.
omniscient? Does that mean he's God? Does
No.
that mean he perceives
Different-
time differently?
Just has a different perspective.
Just perspective.
He can see it. He can see what you can't.
Yeah.
So you said we're going to the news.
You know, yeah. You know who else can see? Who else can see?
Has
what
a
we
good
can't?
perspective?
Yeah, there you go. Thanks. You know who else who can see what we can't? Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready because it's time for the news.
Man on the ground, we are now connecting the satellite. It is moving around space, time, and connecting you from 1942.
Yeah.
This is 1942, beautiful downtown Burbank. I'm alone in the field.
Yes, sir. How are you doing this evening, Les?
Doing okay.
Yeah,
Good.
Welcome
back. Good. So,
there was a great Twilight Zone episode where the whole thing was called The Camera, and it took pictures of the future, and one of the pictures it takes is him falling out a window.
love it. Love it.
Oh, that's great.
And at the end of the episode, it's a picture. It takes the picture of him falling out the window. Twilight Zone, what haven't they covered? They've done it all.
Everything is based
and
on
they
a
did
Twilight
it all
Zone
30,
episode.
50
Yeah.
fucking years ago.
Like
It's
almost
so crazy.
everything.
I don't know if it's online anywhere, but if you can ever watch One Step Beyond, which was a step beyond Twilight Zone, it was crazy. Great old show.
You know what show I've been...
One episode, which you'll never see happen now, is the host does mushrooms to see what the psychotropic effects are.
Yeah.
I'm tripping tits right now.
This is in the 50s.
This
The guy
is
takes
pretty dope,
mushrooms
though.
on TV.
Yeah.
That's
anyway.
Yeah, that's when they
They still-
legalized all that stuff.
They
was
still
around
do that
time.
in other countries. Like Italian TV still does fun shit like that. We're just boring.
Well, no, they're starting to do a lot of research into psychotropics.
Psilocybin,
Yeah, it's cool.
For PTSD, for depression, for anxiety.
They're doing DMT studies on the beings that you meet when you're in these altered states.
Yeah.
They believe that you can cross dimensions and that the key between all dimensions is astral, that you can actually leave
Altered
your body
States, starring William Hurt.
and meet other people from
Rest
other
in peace,
dimensions.
William Hurt. Rest in peace, William Hurt.
Yeah.
William Hurt replaced by Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
In the Thunderbolts movie.
Yes.
Thunderbolts are something somebody saw when they were traveling through time in a plane. Anyway, I made
That's
it.
true.
I got it. I did it. You see how I did that?
Cool.
Anyway, Les, so what do we got for the news, my guy?
Wow, that was crazy. No, I just went down a whole rabbit hole with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, listen, so sort of unrelated, although you were talking earlier about terrible relationships in people's lives.
Yeah.
But I thought, and I may be wrong, but I thought it might be interesting to talk about marriage.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Marriage. It's
institution.
an interesting subject.
Yeah.
There's some history.
It really
there,
is.
and maybe some. I can share some historical facts with you guys that you didn't know.
I love facts and history.
Talk about it a bit.
Shoot.
So.
That couple earlier,
Marriage
they look like
history,
they're
so-
headed towards the altar.
Yeah.
No,
Jesus.
absolutely. They're totally look like a married couple.
So,
So the best evidence suggests that marriage started about 4,300 years ago.
oh, we don't know like definitively?
Well, it's
I guess
pretty
that
close,
sorta
but they're
makes
saying it
sense.
was about 2350 BC in Mesopotamia where they had the first man and woman marriage. By the
a
way,
real marriage.
Nero
The only real
married
marriage.
married two men later on, but that was generally frowned upon. But before then, hunter-gatherers finally settled down, right? And the first evidence of recorded ceremony was in Mesopotamia. And then over the next several hundred years, it turned into a widespread institution adopted by the Hebrews and the Greeks and the Romans.
So they're to
But back
blame.
then, even in the early marriages, had nothing to do with religion, and it had nothing to do with love.
That's interesting.
It was for just what?
Yeah, because usually
uniting
the
houses.
parents arranged it.
It was
Yeah,
like
and
uniting
it's,
houses.
It's what's
in
going
exchange
on
for
right now
goods
and
and
what's
stuff.
going on forever with biological creatures who also have intellect. The whole point was to guarantee that men's children were theirs.
Yeah, yeah. You're pretty.
That's
I'm
interesting.
pretty. I'm big, strong. You're pretty Pretty
I
woman.
want my daughter to marry into, and I want
my
son's
daughter to have
bloodline
your
to
hips,
continue
my brain.
So you have to have a fertile woman to continue
I
your
want
bloodline.
my wife to only carry my children. Is really the point.
That's what you're saying is that it was for that purpose.
Women became the property of the man. That was the whole point of it.
Wild.
For shame.
The ancient Greek ceremonies, they would wave the hand over the daughter as the father gave him over to the husband, and he would say, "I pledge my daughter for the purpose of producing legitimate offspring." That was the ceremony.
That's funny.
It's
and by the way,
it's changed a lot, huh?
Yeah. Oh, times they're changing.
Women had to stay with their man, and that they couldn't do anything else on their own. Men, of course, were free to have several wives.
Promiscuous, do whatever they wanted. Yeah,
of course, they could have concubines, prostitutes, even teenage male lovers.
It's so disgusting that
and by
that
the way,
changed, and
in
we
the early
can't
days,
do that today.
If the wife failed to produce your offspring,
you could give
her back.
Oh,
marry someone else.
Yeah.
That was
the
her
main
dad.
goal.
You lied to me. Okay, here you go. Take it back.
That's right.
Yeah, it sucks. We can't do that anymore. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It'd be horrible.
As the church got more powerful in Europe around the was it the 1500s?
Middle Ages.
It was written into the law of the Catholic Church. It was around the 8th century when it first got accepted, but it wasn't until the 1563 that they added it to the church that the priest would have to preside over a marriage.
Yeah.
Now, this is also interesting. Romantic marriage, the idea of marrying for love, goes back only to the Middle Ages, and scholars believe it was invented by the French, of course.
That's funny. Yeah.
Bastards.
Good for them. Yeah, I mean, might as well marry somebody you want to.
Yeah, right.
What an idea.
And even though they had this idea of romantic marriage, marriage still meant that the husband owned the wife.
Crazy.
As a matter of fact, when colonists first came to America, polygamy was still accepted. Husbands still owned their wives. Right? It was called the doctrine called coverture, where the bride was absorbed into his family and she changed her name to his, right?
Yeah.
And it was really him representing both of them.
Yeah. That's why they would say, like, I'm Mrs. Jack Dawson.
Yeah.
It's like
exactly
taking the first name and last name. Yeah. I got it. Go on.
The biggest change took place in the 1920s. Right? This is when women could vote.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. I'm like, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
Suddenly, they're not just property anymore. They're individual people.
Yeah.
And by the 60s, they got rid of the laws forbidding interracial marriage, most states dropped the laws against birth control, although unfortunately that's coming back now.
Up until the 60s. That was, that's so wild to
Crazy.
me. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
Yeah.
not
So
that
like,
long ago.
such like archaic thinking.
Yeah.
You think it's a billion years in the
Nope.
past.
That
But it was
just
like
happened.
a couple months ago.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's recorded. There's videos, right? There's
Yeah,
movies of
it
this
was
stuff.
years after I was
this
born.
yeah, it's wild to think about. We've come a long way
Like
very quickly.
Like too far. Like, holy shit. In the amount of time, like crazy. We should really go back, and I should be polygamous. No.
It wasn't until the 70s that they adopted the concept of marital rape, right? And husbands no longer own their wives. And they didn't own their sexuality any longer. That's the 70s.
That's so crazy, man.
The 70s?
Yeah, that's just
That's bonkers.
Yeah.
That's.
I know.
I was basically born in the 70s.
Yeah, that was that big, the big movement in the 70s.
Yeah. By the way, the idea that marriage is a relationship for the fulfillment of two unique individuals, that only happened in the last 60 years.
Yeah. That's freaking wild.
As a matter of fact, I mean, they'll tell you that marriage has changed more in the last 60 years than it has in the 5,000 years before.
Yeah.
I believe
that's
that.
That's unreal. In the right direction, it looks like.
It seems so.
Yeah.
But, you know, an interesting thing, though, of course, when the idea of marriage came as, two people, sharing, equality.
Taxes.
The idea of marriage counseling also came.
Yeah, right. Let me ask you, gentlemen.
One of my favorite facts is that most couples who successfully try to maintain their marriage and finish the course of marriage counseling ended up divorcing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's sad. Let me ask you, gentlemen, this. How do you feel about marrying inanimate objects?
It's not
It's
a
nonsense.
thing, right? Yeah.
I'm not moved.
So that's a name
That's
from
great,
both of us.
yeah.
That's good. That's clever. So, what, like that woman or man, I forget, who married the roller coaster?
That shouldn't be a thing.
Why?
That's absurd.
No, it's ridiculous.
It is. It's
There's no need for
crazy.
that. What a niche.
Yeah, yeah. There's a person who married the roller
The whole
coaster.
idea
someone
early
married
was,
the car.
it used to be communities. There was no marriage. It was a community of 30 or more people who all shared responsibilities to maintain their safety and for food and everything else.
Yeah.
Sure,
The idea of just the one man and one woman is not that old.
Yeah.
But I mean, but the concept behind it is, building out a family and securing.
Even if you think Adam and Eve, like you think one man, one woman, that's that, right? As far back as time.
As far as marriage goes.
No, yeah, I'm saying no. Just as far as the idea of it's always a relationship is between the man and the woman, and this is that's it. That's it. Simple, basic.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think I'm saying like it should only be between a man and a woman?
No, it just comes off that way.
It came off real gross.
It comes off bad.
I'm just saying like biblically, yeah.
Yeah.
Old school, like that's it, man, woman. Anyway,
You're doing
my
great.
point's lost.
You're doing great.
That's it.
All right.
So homosexuals.
Should they marry something inanimate or someone of the same sex? Let's see.
Yeah. I married a male doll,
Yeah.
blow up doll.
He's
let me
trying
just say, I
to
love
just
lamb.
say something good.
I
just don't know
was,
what
but
it was.
your face threw me off so much. I'm like, am I saying horrible things? And then it sounded like I did.
Yeah, where are we going?
Yeah, I forget. But it was probably really
Anyway,
good.
that
Had a
was my
great
little
point.
bit on marriage and a little marriage history. I do, of course, have some jokes.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
fucking
sure
I
go.
mean,
there's
there's
a
a
few.
billion marriage jokes. I'm just going to tell, 50 or 60 of them.
Okay.
I think it was Henny Youngman who said that marriage is a great institution, but who wants to be in an institution?
Yeah, that's the best. Henny's the best ever.
And by the way, there is a penalty for bigamy. It's called two mothers-in-law.
Agreed.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Real quick, Henny Youngman's also the guy who says one of my favorite one-liner jokes of all time, where he says, "My wife asked me to take her somewhere she's never been, so I brought her to the kitchen." One of the
That's
greatest
funny.
ever. One of the greatest ever.
Take my wife, please.
Yeah,
Anyway,
That's Henny
seriously.
Youngman. Yeah. No fucking.
Yeah. So they also say that marriage is like deleting all the apps on your phone except one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's really good. That's really good.
Okay, at every party, you'll appreciate this, at every party there's two kinds of people. Those who want to go home and those who don't. The trouble is they're usually married to each other.
That's great.
And as we all know, anyone who's been in a relationship, the most essential 5 words for a healthy relationship are, I apologize.
You're right.
You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah, straight up.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's great. So,
I'm going to tell this is a couple more.
Please.
This is one of my favorites. So a married couple goes to a nightclub, and there's a man on the dance floor, and he's giving it all the moves. He moonwalks, he backflips, he breaks, he does everything.
Yeah.
And the wife turns to her husband and says, "Do you know that man proposed to me 25 years ago, and I turned him down?" And the husband looks at his wife and says, "Looks like he's still celebrating."
Get him.
Got him.
That's a good one, man.
That's really good.
Okay, I got one more, and then I have a Marvel joke to go with this. So the husband and wife married for a long time now. They have 8 kids. And one day the husband notices that the 6th kid, Billy, looks very different than the other 7 children. So he goes to his wife and says, "Honey, I noticed Billy looks really different than the other children. Did you have an affair?" And she breaks down, and she's crying, and she apologizes, and he's heartbroken. He says, "So who is Billy's father?" And she looks at him and says, "You are."
Yeah. That's great. Was the kid's name Khloe Kardashian?
Yeah. And was the man's name O.J. Simpson?
Of course, the difference between death and marriage is that when you're dead, you don't wish you were married.
That's fucking great.
Okay, and final joke, and I'm out of here. A failed marriage is like an Avengers movie. First someone snaps, then half your stuff is gone.
That's brilliant. Oh, I love Avengers.
That's so good.
Joke.
Hold on,
Oh,
real
yeah,
quick.
sign out, yes?
I remembered what my whole point. Adam and Eve thing. Gays shouldn't get married. No. My whole point was. No, my whole point was that. No, in reality, my point was. Of course, marriage is something that. What is it called? Institution like a religion would adopt, because look at the fucking Bible. It goes back to a man and a woman. Of course, they would adopt the institution of marriage, and that would become a religious
they did it
thing.
for power. Let's be real.
But no, of course, that would become a religious
That's
thing,
all.
right?
Yeah.
Mazel tov.
Because it
That's
was
all I'm
something
saying.
before they even existed, so they did it for power. They wanted the
They did it for
power.
clout.
You have to come to us if you want to dissolve a marriage. Even a king has to come to me and ask my permission.
Yeah.
It's all power.
Yeah.
Those monsters.
Damn religion.
It's really, it's
Think of the
become like
time
politics.
period.
They see where the people are going. They run in front of the crowd and say, "Come on, this way." I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Hey, jokes were
Anyway,
good.
signing off from 1942.
Always good. We appreciate you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Les. Take care, sir. Always the goods with that guy. Always. We always get
the fucking good
with that guy. I'll tell you what. So,
dude, I want to get into. So, well, let's wrap up the time travel. What is causing it? I don't know. Time slips, so much fun. Okay. If you like this kind of stuff and you want to talk about, because I wanted to get into maybe time machines at some point. I wanted to get into how they might work. What are some good examples of that? But I think that's its own episode.
what if we filmed that?
I'm just saying today I can't, but today I wanted to just tell some really cool time slip stories and try and ask you, the audience, and you,
the camera,
what do you think could be causing something like that?
Time slips are curious and they're fascinating, and I enjoy it.
And it's obviously possible. The conditions are there. If all time is simultaneous and it's based on perspective, it is so believable that these stories are true.
Yeah.
I believe that these happen.
I want to read this chat, but because GL's saying some cool stuff. But to what I was saying before, to wrap it up, I think, like I said before, time travel is very possible. Time slipping is very possible because, like we said, and like you just reiterated, all time is simultaneous. There's no. If I take a picture, why can't it be a picture of 20 years from now or 20 years ago?
Yeah.
You know, there's no reason why not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
It's
believe
possible.
it's all legit.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Which is fun.
So, will you read? GL said, what sucks is there is a time machine buried somewhere on this earth, and if we could get to it, we could see the past.
Yeah.
And then he said, I do not like how DMT makes me feel. So he's done. Dimethylmethyltryptamine. I don't remember what it's called. There was no religion at one point. You just follow the gods. I think as far back as civilizations have been around, there's been religions of some kind. To
different,
explain away.
But they didn't. Well, they always believed in gods, but not organized religion, is what he's saying. Where you would worship the gods and you would give
it's Sunday. We got
sacrifices
church.
to the gods and all that. Yeah,
it's Sunday, kiddos. We got church.
Something bad happened, so we upset this god. We need to appease this god.
Yeah, now we got to kill.
And some historical accounts say that gods and man at one point inhabited the earth together, and that gods would help.
Wrong. It was actually the aliens. It was the Anunnaki were aliens.
Maybe so. But if, to GL's point, if alien craft work in a way that they can bend time space, they are time machines.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In every sense of the term. Sure.
If you had one, you probably could travel through time. If our government has control of a ship that can bend space-time, then it could probably move through it. Just interesting.
Food for thought. Yeah.
It also leads us into our conspiracy corner today.
Our what?
Conspiracy corner today.
Conspiracy corner.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
One conspiracy, one corner. One very cool fucking graphic. Look at it. Enjoy it. Unless you're listening to this and you're not watching the video, then just picture a really cool
Graphic.
So we did an episode a while back about MH370. Yeah.
Oh,
so
Flight
Malaysian
MH370.
Airlines Flight 370, which
Can I
still
recap?
hasn't been found.
Can I
Go for
recap?
it. Sure.
So what happened was there was a flight coming out of Malaysia. Oddly enough, a young gentleman took a picture of the plane and put on his Facebook, "Hey, if this plane disappears, this is how it looks." And then come to find out, the plane actually does disappear. And when I say disappear, I mean disappear. They lose it. It was like off track. They don't know where it went. They assume it was supposed to be in this area, but it was never found. They never heard from it. They never retrieved the black box.
Nothing.
It was gone.
Few little parts found here or there. Most people don't believe those parts actually are part of the plane. And some of the reasons are the barnacle growth doesn't match when the crash would have happened. Yeah. Some of the parts that would have hit first are in pristine condition.
Yeah, perfect condition.
So they don't believe it's real. They think that those parts were planted.
Same.
And something interesting, given life says
like lost.
Just before we move on to MH370, he said that the other day he was on a mountain range where there was a building and a structure with fake trees all around it. And then a couple hours later, the entire facility was gone.
No.
That's crazy. And it's not the first time
That's
story like that.
That's similar to a story wewe've mentioned on the show. Remember?
So
we have that short on the channel where you tell the story about the guy who sees that giant.
Yeah.
And then, like, fucking a couple days later, there's this building that would have taken months to build.
What would that have been? And how do you do that?
What if it wasn't? What if it was there the whole time?
And you just can't see it, or just
dimensional
in and out, or
a million things.
Who knows? But it's weird that this is happening. So MH370, there's a couple updates, and a lot of people dismissed a few of these updates, and I think that was a mistake. So a couple things that came out on the plane. There was about 20 people, all from the same company. Yeah. This company built semiconductors, and semiconductors are used for a lot of modern technology. And superconductors can be used for advanced weaponry and even some anti-gravity type technology. 20 people were going to China with this technology. And some people believe, because they brought their family with them, most companies don't allow 20 of their employees to travel together at once. It just doesn't happen, especially because if something does happen, you wipe out 20 major stakeholders of a company.
It's like the people who...
it's silly. You send like 2 or 3 people.
With Coca-Cola, they have like one person knows like these 2 ingredients, this other person knows these 2 ingredients, so that...
You don't... But these people brought their family members, which means they might not have planned to come back. And if that's the case, they had some really advanced technology that they were bringing to China. So, what would the U.S. do about something like that? And there is some video to show what they might have done. So,
some nefarious business.
A few days after the flight disappears, there is a leaked video, a satellite video of the exact plane that would be the exact MH370, the exact type of plane.
The model and everything.
Yep, exact same model, exact same everything, in the exact same place where it would have been.
Okay.
When that video didn't get enough attention, there was a second leak from a drone footage of this plane and something happening to it. This is what happened to it. I have a video here that I want to play. There's a few different timestamps, but this is from a show which is called Redacted.
Yeah.
This gentleman on Redacted, he found an investigator who's been looking into the veracity of these videos. He wants to know
what are you, V for Vendetta? To the veracity of these videos.
Yeah. Are these videos real? How can we confirm that they're real? And what exactly are we seeing in these videos? And this is about to blow your freaking mind when you see this. So this starts at 19 minutes. So again, setting the stage. These might be defectors from the U.S. to China, bringing with them an advanced knowledge and the advanced technology of super or semiconductor that could be used for weaponry or anti-gravity technology. They're all on this plane. The U.S. would not want this plane to get to Beijing. They want to stop it.
Okay.
Do they take it into custody? Do they fake crash it and then take the technology for themselves? These are some of the theories being posed.
Yeah.
This is the guy who actually confirmed that the video footage that was leaked is not only real, but he knows who leaked it and can prove it, and he can show you what happened to the guy that leaked the videos. So let's start with 19.
Cut to a guy with his fucking guts splayed.
He's sitting in a prison right now.
Of course he is.
So 19
There's even
minutes.
a witness.
Let's full screen it so you can
T,
see
who
what
saw
happened.
a glowing
I got you,
orange plane
Bubbles.
at low altitude descending with smoke coming out of the
So
back.
an eyewitness sees the plane.
We were able to determine from this that the glowing orange plane was because of bromide.
Everyone dismissed this
which
eyewitness.
is a halogen gas.
Because it
from a
wasn't on
chemical
the course that the
reaction of
plane should have
Halon
been.
1301 fire extinguishing devices that would have been permeating throughout the plane, putting out the fire in the cargo bay for a little bit over an hour. This is also corroborated by a Chinese-only Mayday call. It was
They Maydayed to
intercepted
China.
from the Thailand embassy.
No
that
one
was
else got that
supposedly from
Mayday.
MH370 of the plane disintegrating and attempting an emergency landing. So we have
This is what
corroboration from a
eyewitnesses
Mayday
said.
call that was only reported by China. We have a witness who was in a boat who saw the plane in the location where the plane supposedly turned in the South Indian Ocean, and we have 2 videos also corroborating the same event.
So
that precise location again is where all of these things converge, is over the Nicobar Islands?
And the way we know this is there's actually coordinates in the MH370 satellite video. In
So
the
this
bottom
was the
left,
first
you can
video
see
that was
it says NROL 22, which is the first
So here
National
we see the
Reconnaissance
plane.
Office
Sure.
launch of the SBIRS system.
And you're
going to
start to see something
coordinates
else
change
in
when the
the air.
perspective of the video changes. And this tells us a couple things.
So
it
this
tells us
plane's
that we're not
diving.
looking directly through.
Oh, whoa, whoa,
See
whoa,
something
whoa,
fly by side,
Satellite's
whoa.
moving. Those coordinates would be moving in real
It's
time.
playing
And now
with
it's
it.
following
It's
it,
move when the person
circling
moves the
around
video
it.
screen
And
around.
now
This is
there's
gonna be consistent
more
with
than
if you were
one.
using, like,
Three
now
of them.
there's
Google Maps,
3
Google
of them.
Earth type
And look what
situation.
it's doing.
We were able to map that out and graph it out. And I initially had assumed that maybe there was a minus sign in front of it.
This is someone taking footage of. This is a satellite footage.
Dude,
Look
what
at
the
this.
Oh, this from a
set.
that makes sense.
The
Satellite.
plane would have been going north into the east.
What the shit?
And that was impossible because in both videos the plane is turning left. And if you're going north into the east, you'd be turning right.
So this
So
is
we were able to
Look,
determine
they're like
corroborated
bouncing
by
off it now.
eyewitnesses.
plane must be
Yes.
moving, flying south.
You know what's
into the
odd is it looks like how like molecules interact,
kind of.
right?
Well, you watch what happens, and you might not
am
be
I
far
brilliant
off.
for what I
There's a
said?
configuration that they're doing for a purpose. They're not flying that way for no reason.
Yeah, that's what I was
they're
thinking.
doing something.
The teleport or
Let's see what happens.
east in the videos, and the location must be the Nicobar Islands at the same location where Catherine T saw the plane.
So now jump to 2723.
So now, if we have that location where we
So now we've corroborated with eyewitness testimony and the satellite footage. This is where the plane is. Not only that, there are other aircraft in the air doing things that aircraft cannot do. They are flying sideways, up and down, and now they're spinning around the plane.
Going from one becoming 3,
And they're
which we
orbs.
saw happen.
They're
fucking
orb-shaped.
remember over Lake Mead.
Yeah.
That was
And they're
crazy as
orb
shit.
shaped, dude. Those aren't jets, scrambled jets. Those are something else. A different type of technology.
They're orbs, bro. They're spheres. They're
27,
spherical.
23, yeah.
No, I literally went to the exact
We already
timestamp.
proved that the clouds were moving and evolving. Each frame of reference in the satellite video is only a few seconds long.
Oh, shit.
So the clouds aren't moving significantly.
Look
but
at
they're moving
that,
a little bit. They
dude.
kind of
Wild,
evolve.
right?
You can see the edges kind of grow.
So this
or-
is
or
him
shorten.
proving
You can
that
see the
it's not
first orb
faked
puncture
footage.
A hole through one of the clouds.
All of the processes
But
he
the
went
most
through to make
important
sure this was
aspect that
legit.
rules out a
It's-
cloud
yeah.
picture is that when the zap happens in the satellite video,
Watch
it actually
this.
accurately
GL
illuminates
said those are
clouds
flying
in
saucers.
3 dimensions
Yeah.
in the foreground.
What the
For this
fuck?
type of accurate
No more
illumination,
plane.
You would have to build a full 3D rendered environment.
So
You
it
cannot
was
use a
doing
2D
something.
visual effect for
It
that.
starts circling
So
it.
Whether or not I'm just
Gone.
presenting the evidence for people that can come up with their own opinions on it, and later as well, I'll present the strongest evidence for why the videos are authentic.
3138.
People to understand that.
So this will give you the drone footage, and he explains how he knows which drone it is. So real quick, before we watch this, if this is satellite imagery of what's happening, how did the satellite know what to look at and where? And how did the drone know to videotape this and where? Because those aren't a random occurrence. The U.S. did this the U.S. was watching their own work at play.
Because that's a U.S. satellite that was
exactly
watching it.
and it's a U.S. drone that's filming it. It knew what was going to happen to that plane because what's doing it is ours. It's not UFO.
It's not.
It's ours.
Extraterrestrial technology.
It's like Lockheed Martin type shit. It's what we're capable of. And the only country that was able to see what was happening,
China.
because of the AWACS in the air. When we did the full breakdown of this, we had shown that there were AWACS, those big jets that have those huge circular satellite arrays above them.
Oh yeah.
They can block out all transmissions. They can also take remote control of aircraft, and they can only allow certain transmissions in and out. The only country that was able to receive the signal was
Russia.
China.
West
Remember,
Russia.
they were the only ones to hear the Mayday, which means the U.S. was letting China see what was happening to this plane.
Oh, it's like a show of force.
Exactly right, and it's them basically saying
It's them whipping their gun, throwing it on the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know that these people were defecting to you, that they were bringing you something that belonged to us,
ours.
And we're going to show you
Not only is it ours
what we
now,
can do.
Yeah. But check this shit
Watch
out.
Watch what we can do.
Yeah.
Play this next clip. 3138.
Got it, yeah.
And how we have this?
So in our drone video, we have an MQ-1C Gray Eagle. You can see the body of the drone, and we can tell it's either an MQ-1C
The green is the drone
Eagle
body.
or an
Yeah.
MQ-9 Reaper. MQ-1C Gray Eagle has images that you can find in Google image
See where the
search
cameras are
that
located?
shows
Yeah.
aerial
That's exactly
surveillance
it.
Cameras underneath the
So
wings.
this is what the U.S.
And
was
that's the same
showing
perspective
China.
that we see in the video.
They were using this to show them what
we
we're
can
doing.
see this in a blue.
Oh, you
hue
thought you
or
were
a
going to get your
rainbow palette,
superconductor?
as
Thank
we
you,
see. So it's
everybody,
more
for the
like a
hearts. Happy
traditional
teacher
thermal
mom.
view, slightly different
Let's
than what
show
we've
you
seen
what
from
we do
those
to people that take our
forward-looking
technology.
infrared,
Thank you for the smiley
cameras.
faces. We love
This
you guys.
is a software setting
Look
in
at
the
that
Raytheon cameras that is
configuration, the
available.
spinning.
And this may be the default settings as opposed to the black and white that we've seen from the DoD Navy videos that were declassified in 2017.
Yeah.
Now we're watching a Boeing
Full screen
777-200 that's an exact overlay of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370, which indicates that we are actually looking at Malaysian Airlines in the video. And we see it making a hard left turn. We see it descending.
And
in the
because of the
videos.
fire,
We
the
can tell
reason
that
it's
we are
dropping
looking at
altitude is to
cumulus
give the
clouds.
passengers air to
These
breathe.
cumulus clouds
They don't have
only
any
form
air
at low
right now
altitudes.
because the
We checked
fire
the weather
suppression
pattern for
system.
that day,
That's why
and
it's
within
dropping
50
like that. It's trying to get air because there's not enough air up there. So that's why you see it going hard down.
So the
and to
pilot's
side.
doing that.
Exactly.
Oh,
and they
shit.
checked weather conditions, and the clouds are exactly where they were supposed to be. That's how they made sure the video was real. They checked where the clouds are, what the weather conditions were like, where the plane could be based on the view that we're getting from the satellite and from the Predator. So keep going. Okay. So they confirmed this is the actual footage of what happened, and
cumulus
somebody
clouds
leaked
in the
it.
Nicobar Islands as well. The plane is actually maxing out the capabilities of a 777-200 wall and descent, wall turning at
Look
roughly
at
150
that.
to
What are
250 miles
those?
per hour. This would be very difficult to fake. In fact, there was somebody who posted on social media claiming to be a VFX artist from the movie Top Gun Maverick that said
shit.
that scaling down planes like this and getting it to be accurate to the capabilities of the plane is some of the hardest things to pull off.
Watch
Now,
one-
what we see, both videos actually are in perfect synchronization. We have a satellite video looking from one angle.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And we have a
So
drone
the-
video looking
both
horizontally
videos
from a
synchronize
completely different
perfectly.
angle from the opposite side.
So yeah, it's not tampered.
And
Exactly.
in the drone video, we can see these orbs begin to circle around the plane. In the satellite video, we see these orbs coming in at roughly
I want to see it
2,000
separate and
miles
become
per
more than
hour,
one orb.
Mach 2, Mach
Holy
3
shit!
speeds
Look at that
estimated based on
speed,
Look
dude.
at what, yeah,
pixels
dude,
in
nothing
them.
can move
That
like
is
that.
Both videos, these
unnatural,
orbs are
yeah.
defying gravity as we know it.
Chase
They're
said this is
floating
hecka
freely,
interesting.
They're not falling to the ground. But in the drone video, we see some
Could you
very unusual
imagine?
details.
No,
we can see in the drone
fucking
video there's a
no.
black
Look at
line.
these things.
It looks
would
like
Look what they're
behind the orbs,
capable
but it's
of.
actually in front of the orbs, pulling
Yeah.
them forward.
Look
like
at
they're
there's like
running on
these
train
black
tracks.
lines that you
So
can
there seems to
kind
be
of
two
see in
different
front of the
anti-gravitational
orbs.
effects at play here.
Yeah, what?
Orbs
Yeah,
themselves
yeah.
are
I thought that
displaced
was.
from gravity.
I thought that was what's it called? Artifacts from like the footage.
No, the actual the orbs are making those somehow, and it might be because it's creating something. And watch, you'll see it creates a wormhole.
Okay.
That the plane goes through,
You
and
can
that's
see what's
why it
called the
disappears.
non-radiating barrier.
Shit.
It's like
which means
pulling
it's like
it
a field
somewhere.
around the orb.
Oh my
It actually looks like these are more
God.
like ball lightning as opposed to something like
And you
a
can see the small heat
traditional
signatures in the
flying
orbs.
saucer that we might expect
Boom!
in
Gone.
ufology.
You see that?
They
You see, it's
form
like a
pattern
fucking
around the
wormhole.
plane.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah.
With layers in
Actually,
it.
was
It looked like a
spherical
fucking
pattern.
And they had a
black hole.
drone watching to make sure everything went to plan.
Gee, was that it?
Basically. So
Wow.
the passengers said that they were able to call the cell phones of their family members for up to 4 days after the plane went missing. If this thing was in the ocean and the phones were all destroyed and dead, it's not getting.
Yeah.
Not only that, in the middle of the ocean, there's no towers. You're not getting signal. Wherever the plane was transported to, there was cell service, and the families were able to keep calling the family cell phones for 4 days. So it didn't disappear and explode. It was disappeared and went somewhere where there was cell coverage for days.
Weird. Chase Mack says, this is hecka interesting. Thank you, Chase.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed. Happy Teacher Mom said, do you remember who was on the plane, the passengers?
Yeah, so there's a couple interesting passengers. There were 2 Iranian passengers using fake passports. So there were 2 guys on there that they believe actually hijacked the plane and had it, and that they were state actors and that had the plane under hostage, under arrest, basically, so that everybody would just stay and not call their phones. Nobody can record. Right? Keep everybody in. And these guys, if they were being teleported somewhere,
What's the word
it
you're
wasn't a
looking for?
suicide
Holding them
mission.
Under
Duress. I don't know. They were keeping them
hostage. I
Yeah,
guess.
they were keeping them from taking pictures, keeping them from using phones, keeping them from. It was crowd control. The pilot, after the fire starts diving the plane to get air into the cabin. Once he starts diving, we show up with our satellites and our drones, and we watch as something that we knew would be there circles the plane, opens a hole, and puts the plane right through it. And the plane ends up somewhere where it has cell service for 4 days. We've never seen a piece of the freaking plane that we can verify.
Yeah.
No one from the plane's ever been seen again. And the cargo just happened to be 20 defectors, or 20 possible defectors with advanced semiconductor technology that brought their families with them. They were leaving. They were defecting.
And then not coming back.
So they only allowed China to see this because China was the only one who was able to get a signal. So they closed off all communications except to one
Dude,
place.
imagine being that colonel, whatever.
Right, running the
And you're like,
operation.
all
Yeah,
right.
let's let them see what we can do here.
So open up the channel to China. Okay. Send out the whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah. So how do we know
the LM 500, the Lockheed Martin 500?
So who leaked the videos? These videos were leaked, and the area that the plane is in an area that we as the public didn't know. The plane, remember, we found out like a week later that the plane actually changed routes and went a different way.
Yeah.
We were searching, all of our resources were searching in the wrong place for days. Remember that? And then we realized it actually made a turn and started heading south. Right?
Yeah.
So whoever made this video,
We were looking like in the Mid-Atlantic, but it's supposed to be
we're
like
looking
the
at the South China
Atlantic.
Sea. Yeah. So whoever made this video, if it was fake, would have known something that we didn't know. So
Yeah.
even if it was fake, it was made by state actors, people that knew that something the public did not.
Yeah.
But I believe these are real videos. So who leaked them?
Yeah.
Somebody thought it was important that we all know that we have
This is what's up.
Yeah, that we can do this.
Have you heard that story about the young man who got a weird voicemail and then he got a weird email?
Let me finish this real quick and then tell that story because I got to get to this. So these videos get leaked. 4 months later, somebody is charged with espionage. A lieutenant colonel is charged with espionage for leaking footage, and everything is redacted, except the only
So
thing
we don't
that's not
know.
redacted is
MH370.
the evidence against him is online, is video footage that was leaked online. That's the only evidence
So it
against
could
him.
be anything.
Could be anything.
But
It just so happens it's a few months after this footage, and now a guy's charged with espionage, and he had access to nuclear secrets, spy plane secrets.
Yeah.
So this guy is supposedly the one that this investigator believes
you know how
leaked the video.
You know how
and he got caught.
insane you got to be, like on an insane level, to have all your shit like redacted, like where they're like, we can't even talk about the shit that you did.
This guy FOIA requested everything. Nothing. They won't give
bars,
him anything.
black bars.
They just denied it.
The black bars,
Right.
black bars,
Yeah.
and
But
black
the
bars.
actual case against him is fully redacted. You can't FOIA request anything about him. The only thing we know is whatever he did is on
Ended
the,
up on the
internet,
internet.
and he's sitting in prison
So there's
right
something
now.
legit
Yeah.
that somebody was accused of espionage over that is on the internet right now.
Yes.
Who fucking knows?
And he was charged for it 4 months after this leak. Here's the other thing. That session that's open, that satellite session was opened in Citrix. The investigators were able to figure out that was a Citrix session, which is what it's an operating system
for the audience
the military uses. It's so whoever opened that up and recorded it had military access, and they accessed it, and they know that you can track a Citrix session back to the person who actually does it.
So why would this guy
knew he would get caught?
Why would this guy get espionage charges?
Because he filmed
Like if it's
advanced
him.
technology of ours and shared it with China.
He shared it with China?
He leaked it to the whole world. He shared it with Russia, China.
If he's the one who
Name
leaked
an
these
enemy.
videos.
Yes. And I think that's what he's charged for, is leaking these videos. And that's why he's in jail. They were going to give him life in prison. Instead, they gave him 9 years. Other people charged with leaking sensitive information have gotten slaps on the wrist.
Yeah.
This guy did real time and is sitting in prison right now. And
He got 9 fucking years?
9 years. They were trying to go for life at first because
You know how
whatever those things are.
crazy that must be?
Yeah.
If they, because you don't ask for shit, obviously sometimes if you prosecute, you want, like, you ask for the maximum because then they'll negotiate down a little bit.
Right.
But you know how nuts it has to be for them to be like, no, Your Honor, he deserves life in prison
yeah.
for what he did.
Dude, if those are our craft, that's a leak, my friend.
So
that is a
first of
big
all,
leak.
if those are our craft, what?
Yeah. Some of the
Holy
stuff
shit.
we're seeing is ours.
So we can
for
travel
damn
through
sure.
time? Like, what are we saying? And then number 2, the story. Have you heard about this kid?
Okay, good. Yeah, now you can tell
So
that story.
he gets a voicemail. Alpha, Tango, Bravo, Hotel.
Yeah.
And it's just like all these letters, right?
Yeah.
And it spells out like they're coming, they are not human. It's like a distress
I remember
call.
that. Yeah, you
And
told
then
this story
I
before.
told it on the
Yeah.
pod. Yeah. And then he's like, what is this? And it said it had these coordinates. And the coordinates lined up to where they thought MH370 might have went down.
remember that, yeah.
So they were, what the kid assumed was the black box. This was what he was hearing was the black
Yeah.
box from MH370. And they were saying, they're not human. I don't know what they are. They're attacking. Everybody be safe. Yeah. And so that's
Maybe
what
what
assumed.
they saw at the window they thought wasn't human.
Yeah, so it has been debunked by some people. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's just a thing Google does to test which is a
Okay.
weird fucking test. They're not human, fucking
No, that's
save us, SOS.
strange test.
That's a weird fucking
Yeah.
test. But wild. So he thinks,
Yeah, man.
He thinks that MH370's black box is literally saying, help us, SOS. They're not human, whatever it is. And then you just showed me a video of 3 orbs surrounding
Well,
the fucking
imagine
plane.
you're flying that plane and for some reason none of your communications work. And then the only connection you can get is to Beijing. No one else in the area can get because something's stopping that from being able to happen. And they did it because they wanted to show you, hey, look what we have.
And then you finally get through, hello. And then they're speaking in Chinese. You're like, damn it. It's just, I don't speak Mandarin. I'm very fluent in Cantonese, but I don't speak Mandarin.
Crazy stuff.
Crazy shit.
But perfect for the conspiracy corner, I thought.
For the what?
Conspiracy corner.
For the conspiracy.
What do you think?
Coroner.
We've got a suspect in custody. We have satellite images. We've got drone images. We've got a missing plane that still hasn't been found. We have motive based on who was on that plane and what they may have been doing.
Yeah.
What do you think that is? Do you think that is our technology? Do you think that's real? There's people on the inside that said Lockheed cracked the Tic Tac technology in the 60s. Like, we've had it for
Tic Tac technology.
60 years. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. So assuming that footage is legitimate, like this gentleman is saying it is.
Yeah. He spent a lot of time trying to confirm it. He has a lot of evidence.
So there's 2 things. So let's go with the narrative that this is like a Lockheed Martin thing. That means alien reproduction vehicles, 100%.
100%.
We have taken their vehicles and we have
Dude, they
used
opened
their
a
technology.
wormhole and sent
They
the
opened a fucking
plane to
wormhole.
a fucking base somewhere.
They did what aliens do. So
Yeah.
Then alien
And they
reproduction vehicles
zoom out of
So
nowhere at a
guaranteed.
speed.
And we know Lockheed Martin, like we've always assumed, they're it. They're the guys who found the fucking vehicle.
Even
or
Ben Rich.
who were contracted. Once the vehicles were found by the government in 45 or 47, that they got Lockheed Martin. They said, "Hey, come check this shit out.
Yeah.
Give this a look-see do." And they're like,
Make
"Holy
us
cow.
one of those.
Yeah, and they're like, "Rebuild this son of a bitch."
Yeah.
And then how many years later?
All the anti-grav scientists stopped working on it in the mid 60s. All of a sudden, nobody talks about it anymore. And if you talk about it, you're a crazy pseudoscientist. Yeah. Where'd all those guys go? Where'd all that money go?
Yeah, some guy getting freaking going to prison for they wanted life for espionage. So it's either that or secondly, it's straight up aliens abducting people. Like
that would be interesting. But how did the drones know to watch for it? How do the satellites know?
Watch our last episode about the human alien pact, baby.
They told them.
Maybe that else.
Maybe they called in a favor.
Yeah, straight up.
Hey, we got a problem, and we want to show them what we can do.
Yeah,
do that thing.
Hook us up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you want us to do the thing where we have the one orb that turns into three, and we circle around it,
yeah.
and then we act like we're a nucleus inside of a atom, and then we fucking.
That would be super fun.
Yeah, sounds doper than shit.
Please give them an G17. Here are the coordinates.
4, 9, 6, north, 7.
No. The wormhole thing.
Oh.
No, that's G17, right? The wormhole thing? Just do the wormhole thing.
Do the wormhole thing.
I gotta spell it out for you?
Yeah.
Gosh.
WORM.
No.
Space.
They're gonna let us abduct like 10 more people.
Yeah.
I don't have to explain myself to you. Yes. You work for me. Oh, I'm so sick of this guy.
He's the effeminate alien.
It's so annoying.
Oh gosh, he has the vocal
From now
fry.
on, the wormhole's G17. I'm changing it.
I'm changing the name. Oh, you're so annoying. All right, cool. What else we got?
That's it, man.
I think so.
How
Good
exciting,
shit, bro.
That's a fun one. I thought it'd be a good one to end on.
Yeah.
Like.
So from
Jared. Like, subscribe. Thank you to the chat. You guys have crazy stories. Some of them crazier than mine. But tell me what you think. MH370. What did we just witness? And why is there a guy sitting in prison for it? Also, time travel. You want to hear more? Should we get into the actual tech of it all? I would love to do that, but I want to know if you want me to do that. So leave something in the comments. Cameron.
That's my name. Don't wear it out. Guys, we appreciate the heck out of you. You rock. You're the bee's knees. So we have a fun episode planned for next week. And we have a video dropping tomorrow or Thursday. Odin, what are we doing?
I sent you the thing
tomorrow.
for it.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe tonight. Who knows? We're crazy around here, bro. So we have a new video dropping. It's not a highlight from the podcast. It's its own video that we filmed separately just for you beautiful people. And then we got some new cool stuff coming out. So we love you so much. We'll see you before next Tuesday, but we'll see you live next Tuesday. Great show. See you. Thank you so much. D-Live-R. Thank you, everybody. All of you like, subscribe. Every little bit counts. We appreciate you so much.
We do. Thank you.
And we'll see you on that flippity flop. Later, guys!